Now I'm ready.
If Chris Benoit can do the crap he did and the fans still love him, they're very forgiving. I've made some major mistakes in my personal life, and they're very, very forgiving, but they forgive you. But
it took a motherfucking straight 100% uncut fucking coward to do what that motherfucking did. And his motherfuckers just keep coming out to this day talking about what kind of a guy he was. He was a good guy. Suck my dick. When you choke a kid life out his motherfucking body and this kid got your posters up on his wall and then got your action figures up in your belt, and then your wife is dependent on you to take care of them and to provide for them, even though she might have a big ass motherfucking mouth. It ain't a motherfucking thing that can justify you choking the life out that bitch and then shooting your kid up with motherfucking Xanax and killing him too. I don't give a fuck.
Thank you, the late, great New Jack.
We live in an interesting world when New Jack is a better moral compass than Hulk Hogan.
Boy, Hulk Hogan, I'll tell you, he just can't. He just needs to keep his mouth shut, man. And then he blabbed that he has a Legends deal with WWE for 5 years.
For the time being, if he keeps going, that shit is going to get taken away from him so quick.
Yeah, he might want to. And you know what's funny? I actually had that video to play. So if you didn't play it, I was going to I had it too. But yeah, that's Hogan just does not know when to keep his mouth shut. He thinks he's still cool. Like I said in the chat yesterday, he thinks he's still cool saying this outrageous stuff. Like it's still the fucking, like it's still 1997 NWO days, but I think we all know it's not.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Like, I genuinely wonder, like, the kind of shit that he's put his body through was like the steroids and the fucking just years upon years of wrestling, taking bumps, that kind of shit. Like, he's got to have some CTE. Like, maybe not an extreme amount, but there's got to be something going on with his, like, cognitive abilities, because he just keeps it one thing after the other.
Besides just being a 70-year-old old fuddy-duddy, yeah, maybe, but when you think about it, look back, those weren't like, he wasn't taking like gigantic, huge bumps. He really wasn't. He'd fall on his back a few times. He wasn't like jumping off of fucking scaffolds. He wasn't going through tables. He wasn't being hit with chairs. That wasn't Hogan.
You know it was Hogan.
Yo, homeboy! Welcome to the hood, brother!
Yeah, that is so Hulk Hogan right there. Hulk
You're
Hogan.
right, though. His spine's probably fucked up, but his head might be, I don't know if I would say fine, but like you said, he probably didn't take a whole lot to the head.
He had like 8 back surgeries like a year and a half, 2 years ago in like 1 year of span. So yeah, his back is probably fucked up. You know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we say he's on a ton of painkillers from his back being fucked up and doesn't know what he's saying? Let's give Hulk an excuse to use right there and say he is all whacked out on the old painkillers, little hydrocodone, little Hulk hydrocodone.
Are you implying that Hulk Hogan just hasn't been the same since he tried to jump Snake River Canyon?
That's what it is.
See, like you're giving him the Evil Knievel out on that.
Well, you have problems when you do stunts like that. It's just the way.
Both mentally and physically, that shit is crazy. Was out there doing some wild shit.
Yeah, Evil Knievel had to be crazy to even do what he was doing in the first place at that time. But yeah, let's. Jesus Christ, think about the safety features back then. Oh, come on. I watched a movie with a fucking avalanche the other day, and all I thought of was that little, it's an avalanche.
It's an avalanche! Now fill the air, buries everything.
I better never find that kid.
He's in England for the moment, I think.
Better
Also,
not
it's been like 2 or 3 years since he's uploaded, or since his father uploaded videos to YouTube, so
We'll
it's
come
probably
to
out the
Texas.
game.
We'll come to Texas, kid. I'll cause a fucking avalanche here.
Him just fucking unsheathing his musket while you pull out your fucking pistol on him.
Oh, pistol's just part of what I got around here. I'll leave it
Well,
at that.
but of course.
Dude, if I showed you a picture of my gun safe, you'd understand. The house came with a giant. They literally, I think they took like a room and put a safe for a gun in it. For gun safes, they put a giant, like 150 gun safe in. So I have a pretty big gun safe. And when I moved here, I had to fill it up. It was looking empty. I didn't like that. So, but now I use that thing for everything. We got fireworks. Don't want the kids fucking with them. In the fucking safe.
I kind of picture you just like doing the Scrooge McDuck thing, but instead of a pile of money, it's like just a pile of firearms.
I actually, my wife got on me the other day. She looked and she didn't realize I had so many knives.
Now that is a story for a quick sidebar. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I trampled over you.
No, I didn't realize how many I had, but I found my little stash of knives and I started setting them out nice and neat I had a little place in the safe set for them. And when I looked, I'm like, I have 2 fucking shelves full of knives. And I mean, these are like, the shelf is like, I'm going to say it's like 3 feet long by probably 2 feet wide. So people used to get me knives. I still have the first knife my father ever bought me, but
Right.
I've always liked knives and I've got a ton of knives. So, and I've always carried a knife I would say since I was like 13 or 14, I've always carried a knife.
Right.
So just kind of, just what I do, But yeah, I did not realize I had so many fucking knives as we were going through, because we started going through some stuff we hadn't gone through since we moved in. Cheese, it'll be easy to keep the knives away from New Jack.
Unfortunately.
Get it? He's dead. Too Cold Scorpio is probably going to be in jail. I ain't worried about him neither. But what I did find, I found
what I was going to. Yes. Okay.
Go ahead. Then I'll tell you what this is.
Oh, there you go. It's a bit of a mystery, a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was going to say is you're talking about having too many knives. My dad, not the biological one, the one that came later in life, he is a chef, okay? Mm-hmm. So my parents, they meet online. I don't know this guy. He moves in. I'm like 13, I think, 12, maybe 12, 13. He's a chef. So per his occupation, he happens to have an array of knives. He's also like, he enjoys knives. So he has a couple of, just his own for recreational purposes, part of the collection. But just imagine how I felt about it, not knowing this guy. He moves in and just all of a sudden starts like fucking just unboxing a fuck ton of knives. It was like, well, that was an interesting way to introduce yourself.
Just pulling them out of little black cases like he's about to do some weird surgery, and you guys are like, oh no. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that would shake me up probably at 13 or 14. Seeing a ton of knives coming out, not knowing why, and not knowing who this guy at all. Yeah, that would shake me up. That would shake me.
Here's an interesting introduction, but yeah. So what is in the box? Is it Gwyneth Paltrow's head?
No. They're all DVDs. They're all wrestling DVDs. I didn't even know I still had these. I have some pay-per-views. I have Backlash 2009 on here. I have all the WSX. Remember the MTV show?
Mm-hmm.
I have the 4-disc set of Wrestling Society X. Got the best of deathmatch wrestling in here. 101 Reasons Not to Be a Pro Wrestler.
I remember that documentary. I think it might be on YouTube.
I think it is too. The Ultimate Ric Flair collection I've got WCW Nitro from 4/27/98, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I've got a disc on Factions. I have TNA Victory Road 2010. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a miss. I think those are the words. I don't know. I'm not a big Backstreet Boys fan. You said 4/27/98 WCW?
Yep. Slamboree 1998 WCW. I don't remember getting a lot of this stuff, but I have a lot in here. I'll go back a little more. The Eddie Guerrero story, pro wrestling's brawling babes. Have to get that one. 2010.
Interesting.
2010 TNA Genesis 2010, right there.
So I was looking at the April 27th Nitro to see if there's anything significant about it. It says it was held in Norfolk, Virginia. It was broadcast on April 27th as a 1-hour episode, April 28th as a 2-hour episode. So it has a day 1 and day 2 results. I'm trying to see if anything interesting happened. Jericho defeated Chavo for the Cruiserweight Championship in a match that lasted less than 2 minutes. Goldberg defeated Scott Norton. Benoit defeated Disco Inferno. Jericho defeated Psychosis for the Cruiserweight title. Hugh Morris Barbarian defeated Public Enemy. Norfolk Street Fight. This sounds like a riveting show. Juventud Guerrero defeated Kidman. Booker T defeated Guerrero to retain the WCW World Television Championship. Saturn defeated Marty Jannetty. My goodness. Goldberg defeated Jerry Flynn to retain the United States Championship. Luger, Sting, and Giant defeated Brian Adams, Conan, and Scott Steiner by countout 6-man tag match. All these matches are like sub 5 minutes too.
Okay. I put it in, but it's not seeming to read it. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I lost Smark for a second.
You said seeming.
Oh. Bastard. I put the disc in, but it's not picking it up. Let me try this. Let me try media, open disc in browse. Yeah, for some reason it's not pulling up the folder of the file, so I guess that one's not working. Well, that sucks. Let me see, is it dirty? No. All right, well, that won't work. But anyway, I liked WSX too. I remember that show. That was a pretty good show. It was good until, what was his name? Up until Ricky Banderas decided to shoot lightning out of his eyes. And that's when it went a little overboard for me. I was like, all right, this isn't fucking, he's not Raiden from Mortal Kombat. No. But I like WSX. I bet those discs actually work. Those probably actually work. I don't know why this one didn't. I have no clue why it didn't work. I have no clue if Smark's even there. I don't know where Smark went, but he's not there. But yeah, I found all these discs. I thought it was pretty cool that I had all this stuff. Oh, there he is.
I'm ever present.
He's back. That disc didn't work, but I was seeing what else I had in here. That was good. I've got like the top 50 matches and WWE and Dusty Rhodes story in here.
I liked Wrestling Society X too. It had a lot of people that like would go on to do bigger and better things. Because you had fucking Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, he become Seth Rollins. You had a couple other people try to remember. Whew. You know, Jack Evans was on there, Human Tornado, Vampiro was on there, New Jack, the aforementioned New Jack was on there. Fucking, yeah, a lot of people.
I have the very best of Glow, the 4-disc set.
Right on.
Don't ask me why, but I do.
I mean, I can kind of take a guess.
I do have XPW, though. I have a XPW After the Fallout. I got a lot of good shit in here, man. I think this thing held 200 discs.
Nice.
And I'm only like 3 pages shy of having it full. So I think that was a lot of stuff I got from when Netflix did the DVD, when you could get DVDs off Netflix, you know, back in the day. I think a lot of those were burnt when I would order them. I would burn them.
Right on.
Yeah, like everyone else did. Like everyone else did. Everyone else rented. If you got a movie from Netflix, you owned a movie from Netflix because most people burnt them when they got them.
I had a screen ripper, so I would just download it straight to the hard drive. But it was a little bit more practical to like burn them to DVDs because you would still have the DVD.
Yeah, obviously, I still got them. Looks like not all of them work, but now I'm starting to wonder if the WSX will work. Let's see. They're right here. Let me put that bad boy in and see if it pulls that up. I mean, there isn't that much.
TV in the garage?
Huh?
Do you have TV in the garage?
I have my monitor and I have my computer.
Nice.
Yeah, I got the computer.
I wasn't even thinking about that because like a lot of the computers nowadays, they just have the solid state drive, so they don't even have a like CD tray.
Yeah, this one came with one. I didn't think it did, and then one day I accidentally pushed a button, and my computer like got a quick erection, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It was the disk drive popping out. I didn't get my computer excited. It was the disk drive popping out. Thought I had my computer all horny.
Yeah, you know, from time to time these things happen. Hard drives and floppy disks, motherboards and whatnot.
Oh, this works. Yeah, that actually. Oh, this works.
That's what the next like 2 hours is going to be. We're just going to watch you watch Wrestling Society X.
I'll share the screen. Let's all watch. Fuck it.
Like, ooh, this is the episode with Zach Wilde, where he doesn't really know anybody's name or anything that's going on. And he's trying his hardest to say this, not to say this looks kind of gay.
It wouldn't look good if I share my screen. I'd have to share the file. But yeah, I got the first episode playing right here. Oh, I think they can hear that. Yep.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yep, that was Zach Wilde.
It's also on YouTube.
The first ever WSX
yeah, but these are
that's right, 10 men will enter the ring
probably better copies.
Mission, and that is to grab one of
Plus, I have subtitles.
Suspended 20 feet above the ground to solidify themselves.
I like
in
subtitles.
A match next week to determine who will be the first.
Good stuff, man. Evan Bourne right there. Forgot he was there.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, there was some
smoking all the fake weed he can handle.
He's getting up from that thing.
And yep, there's Zach Wilde.
Seidel is here for a mission. He is here to win.
There's Zach Wilde. Let's see what other matches we got here. It's got chapters.
I remember they booked a whole lot of people who had no idea anything about wrestling. Just a lot of the musical acts seemed like they had no idea what the fuck was going on. Even if you are like a musician that's a wrestling fan, it was still a very obscure fucking. There's a lot of people you probably had never heard of, or just a lot of shit going on that you'd never seen before.
Yep. Oh, there's Just Incredible.
I forgot he was on there. How about that?
Oh, Smark.
Yes.
Smark.
Yes.
Future of professional wrestling. So, you ain't taking care of business.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
That was Teddy Hart, my man.
My night.
It took time to put 2 and 2 together, but I was like, wait a minute, no, the future of wrestling, it could be only one man, and that prediction, that omen was true. Teddy Hart would go on to become the future of wrestling in a sense.
Yeah. There's New Jack.
Past, present, and future of professional wrestling.
He was in his pink jacket.
If anybody wants to follow along, I posted a YouTube link that has the entire playlist of every episode of Wrestling Society X, so you guys can watch it at your leisure.
So we could probably play this and not get in trouble.
And perhaps.
Matt Cross, forgot he was there. He was actually in a tag team with Teddy Hart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would actually go on. He was also part of Lucha Underground.
Yep, the Filth and the Fury. Johnny Webb, White Trash Johnny Webb was in this one. My God, they did have everybody in this, man. Vampiro.
A lot of people, yeah.
I think this is actually the first 4 episodes I'm watching here, because I keep seeing credits. Good stuff, man. I might have to watch that a little bit later.
I mean, for what it was fun. I mean, it wasn't they were fucking 20 minutes a pop, so you weren't getting these epic matches that fucking lasted forever. But you got a couple, 2 or 3 minute matches. They cram a lot of shit in. You can see a lot of spots. There's fucking explosions all over the place. CGI ones, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a little CGI used last night for a little fire. But anyway, it was obvious. It was pretty obvious. He wouldn't have been able to sit there with that heat. Wouldn't have been able to do it. But we'll talk about that in a little while here. I guess how did we get there from Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan, New Jack, Wrestling Society X.
There we go. That's how we got there.
I actually think we actually ended there at any sort of actual transition that meant anything. We were talking about Hogan, then we talked about New Jack, then we were talking about Knives, and I guess that's how Wrestling Society X managed to manifest itself.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the Hogan thing was already in my little my playlist of things to play, but we already got that done, so that's knocked off there. But
did we ever talk about the fact? I don't think we did. The fact that they scrapped that documentary that was supposed to have, or not documentary, the fucking Hogan movie about Gawker.
The one that was supposed to with Chris Helmsworth.
Yeah, we talked about it amongst ourselves, but we never officially, because we read the article about it being fucking in production and all of that, but we never talked about the fact that they shit canned it because he was too much Hogan being Hogan.
Yeah, that movie was stopped. They that was official. It was officially canceled. Yeah, I mean, it could have had something to do with the fact that he showed up at the Republican National Convention. Hollywood does not like that very much. They don't like Republicans very much, to be honest with you. So that might have been part of it, because it was right around that time when the movie got canceled. But you can't have a Hulk Hogan out there. He probably wanted to go do promotion, and they're like, how about no?
I think you stumbled across the problem right there. Was that he would have to have Hogan do promotion. It was also off the heels of him firing one of the people that worked for it, helped shill his beard for potentially ulterior motives. It was never quite determined whether it was or whether it wasn't, but let's just say she looked a little bit differently. She was a bit more tan than the other 2 girls that he had on his staff, so yeah, I gave her the boost.
Yeah, a little more exotic looking, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little more exotic looking, most definitely. But Hulk Hogan's a hard sell right now, dude. I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, literally, imagine having that. Oh, I can't wait to go out and promote the movie, brother. And you're like, how about the guy playing you? How about him? How about the guy playing you? That'd be so. No, what do you mean, brother? I got this. No, you don't. No, you don't.
They do the gimmick like how they used to do back in the day with fucking Kai and Tai. Like you actually send Hogan out in body, but then like when he starts to talk, you just immediately cut his mic and have somebody do like a fucking voiceover dub.
Well, the only smart way to do that is have John Cena behind him talking, because John Cena never says anything stupid except that Taiwan is a country, which, again, you look it up on Google, it says it's a country. So weird.
You made a mistake. We all make mistakes.
It wasn't a mistake. It was a mistaken. It wasn't a mistake. It was right. He was right, but they did whatever.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I mean, hey, Scott, how you doing? Just real quick, I want to do something, if you don't mind.
Oh, God. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Did I shut my camera?
No, you don't have to.
You sure? All right. Yeah, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Hogan's just a hard sell. Yeah, your feed did start getting a little choppy after I. Oh wait, no, I can't say that. A little.
No.
Oh no. You started cutting out. No, that's probably not a good one either. No.
Listen, all I'm saying is TikTok is getting increasingly more popular. So just in case, they manage to extend their influence, I don't want to make any powerful enemies.
Listen, I don't have TikTok. All right.
Mm.
I don't have Tiki the Talk. I don't have that. But yeah. By the way, folks, this is Wrestling Outlet. I am Boxman. He is Smark. That's just to let y'all know where you are. We forgot that at the beginning. We started talking about bullshit right away. So yeah, there you go. Now you know who we are. And Avalanche Kids don't come to Texas. So let's start with All In. A little bit of All In news, Mark. I have, for some reason tonight, we have 3 lawsuits to talk about real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into those, but this is not a lawsuit. This is kind of a thing that was going on this week on the old internets. London has released the 2024 turnstile count for All In that was at Wembley Stadium. It was originally estimated by WrestleTix that there were 53,393 tickets sold or distributed for the event, either sold or given away, either one. And it looks like that is not exactly how many showed up to the show. It was actually only 46,476 by the turnstile count. Now, okay, that means that's how many people showed up, right? That's great. But that doesn't mean that you missed out on money from the other tickets that were sold. It just means they didn't show up. You still got that revenue. Whether they showed up, whether their car was broken down, whether they were too fucking hungover to go the next day, whatever it was, you still made that revenue. So I don't know. I do not think 46,000 is a bad fucking number of people that showed up for the event. But some people are laughing at it like it's horrible. It's 46,000 people, man, showed up. That's nothing to fucking laugh at as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's become the nature of just being a wrestling fan, especially one that is, online. Is just, for whatever reason, everybody likes to be fucking, everybody has their economics degree.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is like that. Everybody just wants to be the first one to be. It's cool to be the first one to shit on AEW, but 46,000 is not a lot. Listen, if they gave away, what were those numbers again? Let's say they gave away 4,000 tickets. We'll make it 50,000 even.
Mm-hmm.
So that means 4,000 people that they still got their money that they didn't have to seat, feed, worry about, care about. That's still a decent haul either way.
Right.
That's still a decent fucking haul, and I'm sure they made plenty of it off of this event. But I don't know. I just don't see how anyone can say 46,000, even if it is less than what they had last year. I don't give a fuck. It's still a fucking great number. It was a great show. And we all need to fucking learn to lighten up on the. You're right, though. It's like everyone suddenly has their fucking economics degree, and I don't even think I took economics. I was supposed to, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the reasons.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, everybody is focused on all the ratings and the ticket sales, and pay-per-view buys, and PLE buys, if you want to fucking call it that. It's like who cares? Like I've seen people say that if they had to start a wrestling company or whatever, that they would pick like the Miz because of how valuable he is to promote things and shill. And it's like, fucking, you're not taking the Miz first. Get out of here. Like, okay, yes, I see that argument, but also like Roman Reigns could do that too. So it's like, stop fucking being out here just being like, oh, who fucking arranges their top 5 favorite wrestlers based on who makes the company money? You're not seeing any of that money. You're not fucking. You're not unless you have a part of the fucking WWE stock. You have like 1%, right. So you're seeing like 20 cents every fucking year, if even, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and you're right. It's the same thing with ratings. It's the same thing with all the shit going on right now. But it is crazy. It drives me fucking batshit that it's all fucking doing this. But yeah, it's just getting absolutely ridiculous, though. And like I said, everybody, oh, the ratings this, the ratings that. And then if you say it doesn't matter to me, they go, oh, typical AEW stan answer.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Oh, and by the way, if you want to, if you asked me who I would have someone out there promoting a company that I had, give me Big E any fucking day. I don't give a shit if he can wrestle right now. I would want that guy with his personality, his charisma out there shilling every fucking thing of mine if I had my choice.
I think he is still out there, like helping promote the company and whatnot.
He is, and that's that he that guy just looks like so much like he'd be the funnest person to just sit and have a fucking beer with.
And see, this is why I will never be able to own a wrestling promotion, because you're talking about who you would send out. You actually made like a logical choice that makes sense. He has charisma. He's a very charming and endearing person. My thought is like, all right, who are we sending out on the fucking local morning show to promote our pay-per-view? Give me Teddy Hart.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was gonna say Hogan too, but I wanted to make it a little less obvious. But it's just like, yeah, you fucking 10 minutes of just Teddy Hart not addressing the very first question he's asked, which is, how are you this morning? And then just like fucking 20-minute rant. And then like, as they cut to commercial, he's doing like a fucking, moonsault off of the fucking bum mic or whatever.
Oh, I'm a little tired. Went out last night, got a little fucked up, had some prostitutes and I had my cats out. But, all in all, doing pretty good. If you see me do a moonsault with my cat, it's pretty cool. Here, let me just pull up that video on YouTube for you. I can show you right now what it looks like. Here. Anyway, how are you?
Kill anybody and you can't prove it. You play your hating son of a bitch. You're like, oh, she
asked you
how you were doing.
I beat that case. Yeah, we know you beat that case. Yeah, lucky fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's called lack of evidence.
That woman.
Yeah, you watched one too many fucking episodes of CSI. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Teddy. We understand.
Oh my God! So just imagine being a police officer or a detective or whatever, just homicide investigation. Imagine having to like sit Teddy Hart in a room and question him, and just like having to follow his train of logic. That's probably how he beat the case. He just kept talking, and it just eventually confused the shit out of whoever was tasked with trying to bring him down.
No, you don't believe me because I'm sitting here in a pink vest. That's why you don't believe me. That's why. Is it the big chain? Is that why you don't believe me, eh? Huh? Is that why you don't believe me, huh? Huh? I swear she's in Brazil. She's in Brazil, fucking a Mexican midget right now. I'm telling you. Okay.
I have to imagine, like, I don't know the legal system as well as you do, but I have to imagine it's probably a pretty easy sell if you're Teddy Hart's defense to just plead insanity. It's like, he is a man dressed in pajamas with a giant fucking Flavor Flav-esque gold chain, with a cat that he taught how to do moonsaults. It's like if there's not a case for insanity, then what is?
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know much about the law either. I just like watching shows about the law. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a lawyer. My uncle was a lawyer, but no. Actually, he recently passed away. Actually, so yeah, all kinds of shit been going on. So yeah, it's just we've just come to this place now where everyone feels the need to defend the company they enjoy watching, which I get it. I get you want to defend the company you enjoy watching, but some of this shit is not how we should be judging wrestling. And part of the problem is guys like Conrad. The best wrestler in the world is the one drawing the most money. My best wrestler in the world might not be your best wrestler in the world, dipshit. So fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not rumor or innuendo. You fucking shove a fucking bat up your endo. But anyway,
okay. That bullshit all started with Al Snow. Because I forget what match he was talking about, but he said some match was better than like not Warrior Savage, fucking Steamboat Savage.
It was, he kept saying that match was not the drawing match, no matter how good it was the Hogan Andre match. That's all people cared about, that it doesn't matter how good the match was. Yeah, it was really good, but that wasn't the drawing match. And that's pretty much Al Snow's stance on it.
Because as we all know, there's nothing marketable about the man who is still the face of fucking Slim Jim, even though he's been dead for over 10 years.
Yeah, man. And fucking Steamboat, every time he's out there, fucking gets a good little spike. I think Steamboat's awesome. He's one of my absolute all-time favorites. So, But yep, that's Al Snow. He basically says that match wasn't what brought the money. That wasn't what put asses in the seats. It was Hogan and Andre.
Of course, the most ironic thing is just the idea that it's Al Snow saying that it's about the person that makes the company money and not their actual talent and ability. It's like, well, then you, by your own definition, were one of the worst wrestlers ever.
What did you sell? A few fucking foam heads? You probably sold a lot of those foam heads, actually.
Those things were over for a minute. Yeah.
I'll tell you the truth. I was walking through there's a store here. It's one of those like liquidation stores. They got one here. And they had two of those for sale. I almost snagged one. They were like $3. And they were the foam mannequin heads. I almost grabbed one just to fucking put it behind me, but I didn't. I'm like, if it falls, my dogs are going to eat it. I don't need that shit all over the floor.
I mean, I guess you could say excuses, but that was at a time when wrestling was at its fucking peak and just everybody was selling merchandise left, right, sideways. Fucking Val Venus was making money hand over fist. Everybody loved him. His t-shirts were all over the place too.
Not many people loving him right now.
I think he's managed to just not say or do anything crazy for a while now, so he's at least staying out of like the headlines. That's something.
Ooh, not if you follow him on social media.
I sure don't.
A website got a hold of, I forget, I think it might be the Big Valboski or Val. I think it was Val Venus or something. One of his names they got a hold of. And we all know the Big Valboski is a huge advocate of the LGBTQ community, right?
But of course.
Hear the sarcasm there, folks. Well, I believe they have actually taken over they got the domain under the name he wanted and made it into a LGBT advocate website. So he's not a happy camper right now. He's a little crazy. He's a little crazy on social media. He flat out just does not like homosexuals or transsexuals. Does not like any of them. He's a weird dude, man. You'd figure
the most uptight. There it is. Go ahead.
Uptight stoner you've ever fucking met in your life or seen in your life. Yes, I agree.
But of course, yes.
This guy has weed everywhere, and he still fucking just goes on and dribbles on about bullshit. So Val Venus is just not a happy camper. I forget if it was, I think it might have been Val Venus or ValVenus.com or the Big Valboski. One of them they took, and it leads to an LGBTQ website. I wonder if I can find it. I wonder if I can find it.
I can probably find it. I'll look.
All right. Oh, wait a minute. It's valvenus.com, and it forwards to, yes. Our mission is to support the LGBTQ community. Useful support about me, the Trevor Project, all kinds of things about LGBTQ community is on valvenus.com. And it looks like they bought like every, this is valvenus.universe.se. It looks like they just picked up every little denomination of the Val Venus thing. But this
is former ladies.
Yep. This is what he is not happy about. Oh, why don't I do this? I could have shared that screen.
Which also the ironic part. Let's see, give me just a second. I'll throw it up for you.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
No, it's not giving me the option to share the screen yet. So there we are.
There it is.
Maybe he's just a little bit sensitive about all of that, considering what happened to him on that episode of Raw.
Could have been.
Like,
maybe.
It was the involuntary sex change that he had that makes him a little bit salty towards the.
Let's go to the shop. Oh, look at all this. Oh, look at all the Val Venus. Look at all this stuff. This is great.
That is a masterclass in petty, because those are like very similar to the logos he used to use. So like they're just straight up going to say fuck you. There's nothing you can do to stop us.
I do got to say I like this little 8-bit one. I like that one. That one's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That one. This was kind of cool too. Got the little beachy kind of old TNC surf colors.
There you go.
There you go. Not bad. What else do they have here? What else does this website offer? That's about it. All right. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's why Val Venus is not a very happy camper right now, because that website goes to his, not his stuff anymore. They have taken it over, and he's having a very hard time getting it back. I'm sorry, a very tough time getting it back. Excuse me, didn't mean to say hard.
There you have it.
The Big Valboski's always hard. Yes, I will watch the Vince Docuseries and What Is Going On, NORAD, my man. Yeah, I'll check that out. I know it's going to be a fluff piece, but
I don't know. I mean, we talked. I know that they are corporate partners, so the betting odds would be that it is a fluff piece. But also think about it like this: like, he's not affiliated with that company anymore, and if they put out what is just a fluff piece, if they like try to glorify this man, and more shit comes out, that's a bad look for their organization as a whole, like Netflix, because it basically, you're looking like you're endorsing a fucking sexual, I don't know if predator is the right word, but sex offender.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see him going. They can't not mention the controversy, but I don't see him getting too embroiled into it. I'm not sure which word is correct. One of those two words is correct.
Well, I mean, the thing is it's going to be interesting because they started it off with the idea, I think, with the idea of it being a fluff piece. And then as it was happening, when they were towards the end of production, all that shit went down. So they have to talk about it. So like the first, at least 1 or 2 episodes, I don't know how long it's going to be, but the first half of it, however long it is going to be a lot of fluff. But then it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it, like, as it moves along. That's the intrigue, I think. And plus, I hope that they don't actually just make a giant fucking fluff piece on somebody who's done some terrible, horrendous shit. But it's going to be interesting too, just for the idea of the fact that they're given like full on carte blanche to just talk to whoever they wanted to talk to within WWE. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like, it's going to be kind of the closest thing I think that we're ever going to have to like a Vince shoot interview. And I mean, who's to say if he's like telling the truth or not based on what he's saying in the documentary? It hasn't come out yet, so we don't know. He might just be feeding us the same bullshit that he always does. But it's going to be interesting to see like how much we actually get to learn about him before all that, how they handle the allegations as it happens, the narrative that they decide to present to us, I guess, more than anything.
I wonder if we can play the trailer.
I mean, we certainly can. I mean, it's out there. It just released today. It's going to be very interesting, and we only have like 3 weeks or so until it comes out. So,
I mean, last week's show got a ton of little copyrights, but this, I don't know if that will or not. You sent it earlier, so let's it's got to be on YouTube, right? Let's see. Let me see. I'm going to YouTube, Smart. I'm going to YouTube. Promise myself I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole. Vince McMahon.
In the meantime, Norab sent a thing here. This is a quote from Tony Schiavone, I guess. I'm sure he being Joe Tessitore, will do well, and I'm sure that Nick Khan is paying him a big chunk of money. I'm sure he's going to end up being one of the best, I would hope, play-by-play man in wrestling. I don't think he'll be in the class of Excalibur. But I'm reading that real time. I was not prepared for that. But then again, right now, at this day and age, no one is. He's like, fuck you. No one is as okay. If he's your favorite, if you really think he's the best announced guy in the game, whatever, that's your prerogative. But like, no one could be as good as Excalibur. Get the fuck out of here. Like, Mauro Ranallo could be just as good. You fucking wake up Joey Styles from whatever like park bench he's sleeping on now. He's just as good. Like, get out of here with that bullshit. Anyways, here's the Vince thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
People have wondered who I really am. Portrays me that I'm the bad guy. But no one really knows me.
In the world of professional wrestling,
Vince McMahon.
He's easy to hate.
What you expect,
And there.
that's exactly what you're going to get.
It's not my fault that I happen to be a self-made billionaire.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to All American Wrestling.
When I bought my dad's business, my vision was to make this mainstream.
Look at those fucking eyebrows.
Vince created this huge empire, billion-dollar entertainment juggernaut.
He did things no one thought were possible.
Everything he did turned to gold.
There were so many scandals going on.
Trial for steroids.
90% of the wrestlers are on steroids.
Another dead wrestler.
This rocked the very foundation of the WWE. I would accept no responsibility whatsoever.
None whatsoever. They live this lifestyle.
Breaking news, Vince McMahon is stepping aside.
The lawsuit accusing him of countless depraved and humiliating acts.
I didn't think the lawsuit could shock me, and I was floored.
Same. I very much echoed those same sentiments as I read what happened.
A lot of that is a character. He's going to show you what he wants you to see. The lines of reality are very blurred in our business. The individual loses all sense of who they really are. My name is not Vince. My name is Mr. McMahon.
I don't know, man. I think it's good. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Definitely have to check that out.
Have to.
Love seeing Jimmy Hart. Loved seeing Jimmy Hart in there. Here's another reason Bischoff bashes AEW so much, because WWE is throwing him in every video they can. But he won't tell you that. He's not going to say that. WWE. I will almost bet money that man has one of those. Victoria recently got a Legends contract. I think she said now it's called a nostalgia contract or something like that. But she recently got one, which that's great. She made amends and maybe she never. You never know what'll happen. Maybe we'll see her in a Rumble or something. But I always liked Victoria. But I wouldn't doubt if Bischoff has one of those. Yes, Bret Hart is coming to Raw and just taking place in Calgary. Good. You'll know when to go take a piss.
I do like how I like how they bring out Bret Hart now for like all these documentaries, just as his official role, just being the guy who shits at whatever the topic is. But like you could say that he's brought in to bring a level of like levity or honesty to the situation, but like more than anything, he's like sort of just filling that like Jim Cornette niche of just like, all right, we need a guy to be angry about something. So here's Bret Hart.
Here's Bret. Bret, what do you like? Nothing. Okay, let's move on.
Well, there's one thing he likes. He's particularly fond of brown sugar, but everything else
can't.
I mean, God bless him too. Can't blame him for that.
Can't blame him for that at all. Not at all. His wife is actually gorgeous.
Man of good taste. Like there's so many like photos online now that are just people on Earth of just like Bret Hart hanging out with like Salt and Pepper with like the biggest fucking smile on his face, and then just like other photos of just like I think there's like one of him and Pam Anderson. He just looks like completely disinterested.
I just like to picture him and his wife, and it goes, Bret Hart's invited to the barbecue. Oh yeah, he's invited.
That's right.
I mean, I wouldn't personally, but. Fucking sit there trying to make me drink Molson and telling shitty stories about him and Shawn Michaels. Fuck off. Anyway,
there you have it.
He ripped out my hair. I'm telling you, I don't care, Bret. Not enough. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. My God, go have some poutine and suck a dick. Anyhow, where were we here? Where were we? Lawsuits.
That's right.
Litigations, arbitrations, all kinds of big words that I have to look up meanings to before I sound like an idiot. Okay. So I have two AEW. Well, one lawsuit, one legal papers, and one Cody Rhodes WWE thing. So we have three lawsuits real quick we're going to get into. And then one more little news item, and then we'll get into the we can talk All Out, which will have us talk about Dynamite, and this might just kind of be a nice, short, sweet little show. Who knows? Let's get through this first, though. So let's start with the AEW, because Tony Khan, once again, is being sued. It's not just Tony Khan, though. As first reported by the Wrestling News, which is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, a lawsuit was filed against Kevin Kelly, Brandon Tate, and Brent Tate on August 30th. They're called the Boys. They're in the corner of Dalton Castle.
Mm-hmm.
That's who these guys are. So this lawsuit was filed by them. The lawsuit names, all right, here we go. It is AEW, Tony Khan, ROH, and Ian Riccaboni. I'm sorry. I have a really
It's a hard one to pronounce, but you got it right. Yeah, Riccaboni.
No, I know how to say it. I've said it. It's like I look at it and all the letters in my fucking brain jam together. It's fucking the ADHD shit going on in my head. That for some reason, all the C's and everything just jams together, and it just comes out Rick. I like stutter it.
There's a lot of vowels there.
Yeah.
But he would have a hell of a time on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, it's 4 vowels. Not by that many. It's not that bad. It's just my brain works. Anyway, the lawsuit names once again AEW, Tony Khan, ROH, and Ian Riccaboni as defendants. The Tates, known as the Boys, they're in the corner of Dalton Castle, as I said, and Kelly were all terminated by AEW earlier this year. Now, the suit was filed in Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania court of common pleas by attorneys You ready for the attorney's name? Let's see if this sounds familiar. Stephen P. New.
Hey, boy, here we are again.
And Benjamin Bear. Yeah. Stephen P. New is Jim Cornette's attorney, I believe. Actually, I know it is because when Shaheen had that little issue with the shirt, the T-shirt, if you remember that whole thing, Stephen P. New is who he was talking to. So now this lawsuit seeks to void the arbitration clause of their contracts, which while also requesting the court to certify a class action suit against AEW over claims the company is misclassifying its wrestling talent as independent contractors rather than employees. Now, Smark, this is something we have gone over on this show more than once, if you remember.
This will perpetually be a topic of debate and discussion for just anybody.
It will. But I also want to point out one thing. As of yesterday, September 4th, there was a bill that said that pretty much all non-competes are null and void. You cannot tell someone not to work. It can't happen. So that is one thing. Now, if you literally look up what a contractor is 1099, and as Smark said, this is going to be perpetually argued about in the wrestling business, and I agree. It does say right there that a contract worker is one where now how do they word this? One where the outcome of the amount you make is decided by you. Like me, I'm a 1099 worker. If I don't work, I'm not going to make money. If I'm not out there making cold calls, making phone calls, making appointments, selling my product, my packaging, I am a box man still. I don't get paid. So, but wrestlers are not exactly like that because they're told to go out there and do what they do, and they're going to get paid either way. They are kind of paid like salary employees. I do get where the issue is. This all goes to where Jesse the Body was trying to stir up the union shit back in the day, and that didn't happen. And I'm sorry, folks, I really feel it'll never happen ever. If you think wrestling tickets have gotten expensive now, imagine if a union starts fucking charging for tickets, and then the concessions are going to have to be union. Everything's going to have to be union. Oh, y'all don't know what you're asking for here. So I do understand it is a very, very slippery slope, I guess you could say, when it comes to how they classify professional wrestlers. I agree. But it is what it is, and I don't know if they can change it right now, but this is something that now we do know. Punk beat the non-compete, took it to court. Del Rio took it to court, beat it. I think one other person I can't think of took it to court and beat it. A few people have beat the have gone in and got the non-compete basically kicked out, which happens. But anyway, let's keep going here. Once again, we've talked about this tons of times on the show. So after the boys were terminated, Tony Khan claimed that they had no-showed multiple events. The boys denied this claim. And that claim is now at the center of a defamation lawsuit against Khan. So this is also another part of the lawsuit. Kelly, whose real name is Kevin Foote. I'm not sure which was worse to call yourself, Kelly or Kevin Foote. Anyway, he is seeking monetary damages, claiming, among other things, that AEW breached his contract and has interfered with his ability to find work elsewhere, which would also kind of go back to, once again, the non-compete if they had it, which I didn't think Tony put those in his contracts. Honestly, did not. because most people just go. But he is also, this is Kelly we're still talking about, Mr. Foot, is also seeking monetary damages from Ian Riccaboni, claiming that Riccaboni defamed him by way of social media after accusing him of being a member of QAnon.
It's a wild accusation if he's just pulling things out of his ass.
Listen,
the old accuse your coworker of being QAnon rip.
Oh, that old QAnon joke. I get it. He's wearing a tinfoil hat, right? All right. He listens to Alex Jones, right? Yeah, it's funny. It is. I get it. Stephen Pinu did add, and he stated, I quote, "I applaud the bravery of these plaintiffs in bringing this long overdue action challenging the misclassification of pro wrestlers as independent contractors instead of employees. We know we are in for a long, hard fight, but in the end, I believe justice always prevails." And then he also, then he also tweeted, "How fitting and appropriate that on Labor Day weekend, a lawsuit is filed seeking the correct, among other things, the aberrant practice of misclassification of pro wrestlers as independent contractors and not employees. All AEW wrestlers are now members of this putative class."
I enjoy that he said like justice always prevails when you're in a business where like the largest like the fucking promoter in the business told the police that somebody didn't murder their wife because they couldn't speak English. Or like I didn't word that properly, but like somebody got off because Vince told them that he couldn't speak English, so they didn't question him, so he got away with murdering a woman. Like, yeah, no, justice always prevails, especially in the wrestling.
Well, I mean, I guess you didn't. Well, yeah. It was all because Kevin Kelly watched the Sound of Freedom movie. I haven't seen it, but I actually do want to check that out. I did hear it was a good movie. When is the message of saving children a fucking right-wing thing? Tell me what the fuck is happening when that is saving children is right-wing? What the fuck?
Fuck them kids.
I mean, besides that Avalanche kid.
I mean, I don't know what the movie's about. I've actually never heard of this movie. I do my very best to stay out of the political pool.
I think that's what it's about. Whatever. I think it's about he saves a kid. I don't know. It's that whole taking care of children is just so right wing.
Taking care of children, you say?
No, not like that. That whole being a dad thing and role model.
Because who would want a guy to intervene, when you're just trying to have your way with a young Australian little boy?
Okay. I mean, it's Australia. They might let things like that slide. I don't know.
This is the best part of that. Just the interview of Theo Fledge just going on with whatever the fuck it was he was saying, even with context.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
Shit. I don't know. Now I want to see exactly what that movie's about and see if I'm wrong here.
I already forgot. Oh, the movie was.
Oh no. Okay. It's about a government agent. Hold on here. It's it's a true story. First of all,
is this a Bruce Willis movie again?
No, I promise you it's not. I promise you. It's Jim Caviezel. Why can't I look at IMDb? It won't let me look at IMDb.
Sound of Freedom. I got you.
It's all right. I'm going to Wiki. It'll let me do that. So it's American. Oh, because it's a Christian thriller film. Okay. It's got Jim Caviezel, Mia Sorvino. Oh no, he does. It is it's a true story about a an underground anti-sex trafficking organization. The film is based on the life of Ballard. Multiple investigative journalists have written about the real life of Ballard, pointing out the events in the thing. Okay, so it's a poor father is approached by a former beauty queen. She offers to sign his young children to child modeling contracts. He accepts, and then his kids aren't there, so he hires this guy to find his kids. Okay. Or not, yeah, basically. Yeah, wow. It still did pretty goddamn good. Budget was 14.5 and it did 250.6 million box office. So wow. It wasn't a flop. Yes, he was the guy from Passion of the Christ. I think he was also. I think that he was also the guy in a great TV show, Person of Interest. I believe he was also the guy in that show too. I believe that was him. What?
I said perhaps you would know better than I. You're the movie.
Yeah, I really like that. Really like that show. Jim Caviezel. That is him. I have that show actually. It's a great show. Really great show. He plays a former special op agent who's homeless, and some guy who has a computer that he built that can see everything in, like, he hacked into all the cameras, like in the, you know, all the traffic cameras, all the cameras that are around that watch us. And he goes around trying to stop things, bad things, before they happen.
Okay.
Pretty good show. I think it went 4 or 5 seasons. I like the show. I do. I like the show. But so there we go. We had that little lawsuit though. That
as a quick aside,
yeah.
Why is anybody surprised at all that the fucking Crow movie isn't good? Like, everybody knew what they were getting into. Like, but as the trailer came out, like, everyone knew what this was going to be.
I still want to check it out, and I will. I do.
Also, in regards to movies with like sort of political potential leaning people involved, apparently fucking Jack Black's going to be in the Minecraft movie. I don't know why the fuck somebody would even make a Minecraft movie, but there's about to be another shitty video game movie with Jack Black that everyone's going to hate. So that'll be fun.
Let me guess, Kevin Hart.
I don't know. Maybe, but I do know that Jack Black's going to be in the Minecraft movie.
Don't ruin your computer by looking it up.
But now I need to know.
All right, you do that, and I'll start this next one here. Bryan Danielson, folks, we all know him. We all love him. He filed the trademark for the yes, yes, yes. You know, when you yes, yes, yes. And he was talking to, he was on a show called Luke James Chats, and this was right ahead of All In. And he revealed that after he applied for the trademark, he got a letter from WWE. So he said, and I quote, "I applied for it, but then it wasn't necessarily a cease and desist. I got some sort of letter from WWE. It's really weird because my manager texted me and said, 'Hey, this thing is available. Do you want to get it?' I was like, 'How much does it cost?' It wasn't that much. Okay, sure. Shortly after that, I got an email from WWE saying, 'This is infringing on this or that or whatever.' I'm like, 'I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I just do my thing,' he said. So WWE is not happy he's using the chance at all, but it's not like he can help. What the audience does it. He can stand there and the audience will still fucking do the chant.
Right, exactly.
So what do you do if you're Bryan Danielson? The crowd does it. What are you supposed to do? Is turn around and shush them like a fucking like a 40-year-old mother named Karen?
Like, no, we can't do that here. It's a new company. You have to like raise your fingers up and say affirmative, affirmative, affirmative.
Okay. There we go.
Then you don't want that to be confused with affirmative action, so you're gonna have to come up with another thing that's just like accept might also be negative connotations. Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to stick with yes. If they let the copyright fucking fall, then they don't renew it, then that's their problem. Like, he's supposed to, like, out of respect for the company, not do that. Like you said, the fans are doing it anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Now, I'm not sure how it works, but I wonder if you owned it and someone tries to buy it, I wonder if you have like first right of refusal. I wonder if that's how it works. I wonder if you do have a chance to pick that back up before someone else, or maybe there's a time, like a time span after that, once it's dead. I don't know. I'd like to dig into that one day and see exactly how that works. If you do have first right of refusal to that, if after a certain amount of days that goes away, I mean, could be like a 90-day, almost like a non-compete sort of.
Yeah, that I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But if that's possibly the case, then I don't know. I don't
also
know.
Not Kevin Hart, but Jason Momoa is also in the Minecraft movie.
Oh, well, chicks will go to see it just for him.
That's actually pretty great. Is there just a bunch of just like fucking horny fucking 30-something-year-old women dragging the kids along that don't want to see the movie? It's like, no, you play the game, watch the movie. It's like, this movie sucks.
My wife will probably drag the kids to go see the movie to see Jason Momoa.
Hey.
And her name is,
everyone.
Her name is Taryn, very close to Karen.
I mean, everyone does that shit, right? Like we all have like the one or two actors, actresses, whatever it is, that gets your fancy going, that you like don't necessarily care that much about the actual movie, but hey, if they're in it. We talked about that not too long ago. That was basically what Jennifer Love Hewitt's career was she just like the movie sucked, but she had a big boob, so like people went and saw it.
It was Jamie Presley for me. Still think she's fine as hell. She's just a Joe, like in Joe Dirt, and she was in Poison Ivy 2, I think. Oh, she's freaking naked in that movie. My God, she's beautiful. Yeah. She's a good egg. She doesn't mind taking her clothes off. There's tons of pictures of her naked out there. It's a good egg. She's a good girl. Very, 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 very loving. But
I get you.
But all right, so there's the Bryan Danielson lawsuit. Right. Folks, the internet darling, the love of many people's life, Cody Rhodes, folks, is having a little problem. Cody Rhodes, WWE, and their merchandising partner Fanatics, actually, Smark, are all being sued by a punk rock musician. Did I just say musician?
Something like that, yes.
Punk rock musician, excuse me for my words, Wesley Eisold, Eisold. Eisold? That's what I would call it. That's what I would say.
Perhaps. I've never heard of the gentleman, so your guess is as good as mine.
Well, he filed a lawsuit yesterday against Cody, WWE, and Fanatics. Filed in federal court in California, alleges trademark infringement and breach of contract and intentional interference with contractual relations. This guy is the lead singer and co-founder of a band called American Nightmare. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? They've been active on and off since 1998 and toured as recently as just last year, 2023. The Eisold holds a trademark registered in 2016 for American Nightmare for use in music, clothing, and entertainment services. This is all you can look all this up with the filing from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. So in 2019, when Cody went to trademark everything, the American Nightmare, for wrestling-related activities, the band leader guy registered the similar trademark right along with Cody Rhodes. So, under the terms, they did pay to use it. Now, under these settlement terms that they had when they were originally doing this in 2019, here's what it was. Cody Rhodes was allowed to use the American Nightmare on his merchandise under the condition that such items prominently used Rhodes' name, likeness, or wrestling-related imagery in a size at least 75% larger than the American Nightmare text, according to the settlement. For this, they were going to pay a one-time payment of $30,000. Okay? Got it up to there? Good. Okay, so up to there's no problems. We're at 2019. Everything is good. They pay the $30,000. Cody can use it. It explains why the American Nightmare is usually so small on some of his shirts. And some of it does explain a little bit why they usually just have that Cody logo on there more than anything. So now we jump to 2024. He's now claiming that WWE, Eisold now claims that Rhodes, WWE, and Fanatics have violated that agreement by selling merchandise items that fail to meet those conditions. According to the lawsuit, many items WWE is selling through Fanatics prominently displays the American Nightmare phrase with little or no reference to Cody Rhodes or use of wrestling imagery. So they are not happy. Now, I do have there's a couple little pictures here I could probably share real quick. And these look like they are following the, there you go. There it is. Let me, that's probably not a very big picture. Let me stretch that out a little bit for everybody here. Oh, whoa. There we go. Is that a little better? A lot better. So there's the picture. You do see, Mary, you got the picture here. But again, it doesn't say Rhodes anywhere. And I believe this on the side says Nightmare. Is that what that sleeve says?
These are fucking terrible. Like, whose idea was it to bring back like the 2006 era, like Affliction t-shirts? Like, this is what it looks like. Like, we let that die. We're not bringing that back. It's over. Ended. I feel like whoever designed that shirt on the left should be sued or at least imprisoned for like at least 10 days.
I feel like that's a Jerry Lawler. That looks like a Lawler shirt. I don't know if he still does stuff for them, but he does sometimes. I guess I see where they're going. I don't know. Maybe he might be. I know he's not doing much right now. Obviously, he's fine with it. I think you're right. I think he did get a little while ago released, but I don't know.
Cool, like, because we're coming up on the end of this is a fucking complete sidebar, but we're coming up on the end of Jim Ross's career. So it'd be nice if they just like you bring him in for like one show, just have him and fucking Lawler do like a match, and then it's like his send off. It'd be nice to see it, but yeah, these shirts are fucking terrible.
Tony Khan will try to do it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know that's not the point of this discussion. It was more about the copyright and like where are the Cody Rhodes text or likenesses or whatever on the shirt. Those doesn't seem to be found, but these shirts are fucking terrible.
Yeah, there's no Rhodes, there's no likeness of Cody on here on either shirt. So I think they fucked up.
What I wonder a little bit is like they have like if you go on WWE.com, and I don't know how this all works or whatever, I imagine that they have to be aware of like the boundaries and rules and regulations, guidelines and the like. But like if you look online, like a lot of different companies make their merchandise, like different fashion brands or whatever, because like there's all kinds of different like designs and different companies that are making these different t-shirts, and different companies focus on like different styles of the t-shirts that they put out. And there's like some like one company like does all the like retro shit, and then there's other ones that do like the more current stuff. So it's like they have deals with a bunch of different like merchandisers. So I wonder if that's something that just like somebody went off the sort of beaten path and they ended up like creating this merchandise without full understanding of like the deal they had in place, maybe it wasn't their fault.
Then WWE would have to go after them for selling unlicensed merchandise. That could happen, but I believe it's kind of like a ghost kitchen. I believe that what they do is you go online, you pick a shirt, the most local person makes that shirt, and then that's where it ships from. They're really trying to save on shipping, I would think, more than anything. So I don't think these are real companies actually, and they may not even be making them. They may just have them in stock. It could just be a bunch of distribution centers with boxes full of shirts, which I wouldn't doubt if that's exactly what that was. Just distribution centers with shirts. I would assume that's how they're doing it, but I could be wrong. I mean, that's how my business works. That's what I do. I mean,
I tell you this, I'm not going to look it up, so that's going to have to suffice as logic.
No. Listen, hey, we're asking questions. We're allowed. We're allowed to do what we're doing here. We're doing fine. It's not a big deal. Don't need to look up everything. Let them look up some stuff. Go do some fucking work yourselves, everybody.
Yeah, we can't hold your hands.
No, pull the fuck over and do some work, goddammit.
Ooh. Sounds ominously threatening. Sounds like you're like you pick somebody up on the road there, and you're just like, all right, we're pulling over, and you're doing some work.
Goddamn right. What is it? Ass scratch cash, bitch.
That's true. Oh my Jesus Christ! Okay, I shouldn't use the Lord's name today, but anyways, I went on fucking shopwwe.com, and like one of the first things I see is a Cody. I'll fuck this. I'm sharing the screen. Like the words, I cannot formulate words that would accurately describe what it is that I have before me right now. Here we go. Do you see this shit?
Yeah.
This is a replica ring jacket for fucking $429.99. Available in small and medium and large and extra large. Meaning anybody who would actually be willing to buy this does not have a size available for them.
That's an expensive Halloween costume.
Jesus Christ, 400.
Or 4 low payments of $109.99. Did you see that?
I thought you were going to say like that's even worse somehow. Like if you have the money to just like full on just pay like $430 for a Cody Rhodes like replica ring world jacket, whatever the fuck. Whatever. That just means that you're some sort of like successful eccentric person. If you're putting a fucking Cody Rhodes replica ring robe on eBay, or not eBay, on layaway, you're a fucking you're not allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to like handle money. Like the government should like have control of your bank account or something. Your parents,
I mean,
your legal guardian, whatever.
I mean, you can get a pretty good replica belt for that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell, you go to the right pawn shop, you can probably get a real belt for that money.
Oh boy.
You know?
It's true.
That is. You never know. Probably I might even be able to get a ring. You never know.
I'm just in awe of that they sell that, because like in order to sell that, enough people would have to have interest in it for you to put it out there. It's a lot to deal with.
Dude, they sell fucking socks and everything. I think they even sell they had watches. I loved a couple of their watches, actually. I love watches and clocks. So I would have, if my wife would let me, I would have so many more clocks.
Yeah, watches. They have a section for watches. They have a bunch of different watches that are supposed to look like replica belts. They have the current one that they use, the Universal or Undisputed Championship, and the old actually, no, I think it's the current one, the current World Championship, the one that Gunther has.
Well, share the screen, homie Smark.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let me go ahead and do that. I shared it for the god awful fucking Cody Rhodes jacket. I can share it for the actual like decent looking watches that they have here. Boom, you have this one. Check it out. That's $129.99. If my math does math proper, you can get both this one and the other one for less than the fucking Cody Rhodes replica.
That I like. The old heavyweight belt. I like that one. I like. That is a nice fucking one. I mean, if I had to, like, if you're like, well, which one would you want if you want one? So far, that one. What else they got? What else? Love.
Yeah, it's just those two. I thought they had more than they actually did.
They used to have more. They had a couple Undertaker watches. They had some Cena watches. The Undertaker watch was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, wall art. Let's see what they have here. That could be interesting. I was trying to find what the fucking like most weird looking thing that they would have here. I think these are all just going to be like framed photos. Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary on this, unfortunately.
Liv Morgan, Roman, Yeet, Cody Rhodes. What was that Cody Rhodes one up there? What did it have in it? Right there, down, up one.
Up one.
No. Now you fucked up.
I think it. Yeah, I did fuck up. We'll get it back. Don't worry.
Yeah, there was a right there. You missed it again.
I swear to you, this one.
Yeah. Oh, a piece of match. Okay, match.
Yeah.
Oh, look how
Cody Rhodes framed 15 by 17 collage with piece of match used canvas. I would buy. It was $69.99. That's nice.
A 1 inch by 1 inch piece of fucking mat.
Mm-hmm. Now I'll tell you what, I would buy that absolutely if you could promise me without a shadow of a doubt that it was the canvas that he lost to Roman on at WrestleMania, and then he got pelted with the chicken. If you could promise me that that's where the fucking rubber chicken landed, I would buy that for $69.
That is the smallest piece of mat I've ever seen in my life. That was like the size of a quarter, and
you know what you do if you really want to do this? Like instead of paying, and the $69, I guess, isn't that bad. It's actually kind of nice, compared to like the fucking $430 that they were charging for the replica Cody thing. If you care that much about collecting ring canvases, what you do is you go to an independent show. And you just either fucking just like take a piece with a knife while no one's looking, or you talk to the promoter. He'll probably sell you a piece of the mat. You get more of the mat for cheaper. And then you just lie about it, because who is going to say that, oh no, this is a fucking, like, this is a GCW canvas. We can tell the difference. It's like, no one knows. No one cares.
Well, we tested it. It has Nick Gage's blood all over it.
We tested. Oh my god, yes, the fucking forensics would be a nightmare for the GCW ring. It's fucking Nick Gage's blood, Joey Janela's cum. There's probably a fucking pube somewhere there. It's just ugh.
And for some reason, tomato sauce from pizza. I don't know why, but it was there.
Oh my god, do not get near that thing with an open flame. It'll be a fucking disaster. You want to talk about American Nightmare? That's what that would be.
Even found David Arquette's blood. It was weird. Very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Shit. All right. Well, let's fuck the other news story I was going to do. It's really got nothing to do with anything, and who cares about it? But I guess we can talk a little bit about All Out, which will let us talk a little bit about AEW Dynamite last night. I swear I feel like we just talked about their other pay-per-view, All In. That's because we did at the beginning of the show.
That's right.
And we're already having to do predictions for All Out. Wow. First of all, let me just say this. Dynamite last night was a dud. It wasn't very explosive. It was not very dynamite.
You think so? I actually liked it.
There were not many matches, a lot of talking segments. I loved the ending.
I would say caveats to that, because I liked it, except for the Mercedes Moné promo, but I feel like that's almost a given any given week. She doesn't do a good job with those things. And also the Nyla Rose match wasn't that great, but I mean, everybody knew it was going to be a squash match going into it, so it is what it is, the Mariah May Nyla Rose thing.
Yeah, I think everybody knew what that was going to end up being, but it's still okay. Why did that match have to go fucking picture in picture? Explain.
They needed to kill time. I mean, yeah, that one it could have been what it should have. It should have been quicker. Like, just it should have been about the same length as that Jamie Hayter match, because you knew that was going to be a quick squash too. So just fucking let it be what it is. I mean, I guess what they're trying to say is that Nyla was the second ever champion, so she deserves some sort of a rub. She can't just be out there losing in like 2 minutes. But at the same time, she hasn't been doing anything in a very long time. So it's like, it is what it is.
It is. It is. All right, real quick, let's just do this. Let's see. Daniel Garcia, I will say once again, I don't care how much you force me to, I will not buy him as a main eventer. I won't.
What was great about this promo was that like he comes out and he starts to talk. MJF cuts him off and he says he looks like a meth head on Ozempic, and that's like basically the gist of what MJF was saying. The first half of the promo was him just like insulting the way he looks, and then like Daniel Garcia is like, everyone knows that you're lying about what you say. And it's like, he didn't say anything. He just called you like basically ugly, and he's just like that's sort of a subjective opinion.
Yeah, I did like the one line about the hair plugs that you went to Turkey to get hair plugs that didn't even work. And look, I didn't hate it. Daniel Garcia to me is not a main event guy. He's fucking my size, dude.
Well, it's not that so much as he doesn't have the charisma. Like, nope. Fucking Taz is 4'3", but he had charisma. He like at least did a good job of portraying some level of menace. Like, if you really want to break things down, Samoa Joe is like fucking barely 6 foot and like over 300 pounds. But it's like he's basically just kind of a regular fat guy. But he projects a level of menace that makes him believable as an ass kicker. So it's all about presentation, it's charisma, it's believability, it's all that shit.
Well, Samoa Joe is Samoan. I mean, they're kind of just known to be a little rowdy, if you will.
That is true. That adds an extra layer of believability.
Try to be very nice about this. I mean, rowdy, I believe, is a good word for them, for the Samoans. They're known to be a little tough, ass kicking. Why don't I just go ahead and say it? They're known to be very, very tough. Anyone else want Mercedes to start dating Chris Brown? Oh, is it too late to be Chris Benoit's kid? Yes, it is. Anyway,
She's more of an Eddie Guerrero fan.
Wow, that was wrong. Why did I say that? Oh well, not taking it out. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't buy the guy as a main eventer. He's just not to me. You're right. The charisma's not there. MJF is completely burying him on the mic. He gets in a good one-liner zinger here and there, but that's about it. There was that. I mean, we had the Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. Can someone explain Kyle Fletcher's gimmick to me? He's a guy who has a mask on, then he takes the mask off, and then he's just he's Roderick Strong with blonde hair.
He's at least 7 inches taller than Roderick Strong.
Oh, well.
I mean, you're right, though, because I like him as a wrestler, but you just had to explain his gimmick. It is like, can't. Like, I have no, his gimmick is that he, like, fucking wrestles for Don Callis. Like, that's about it. He's
Will Ospreay's friend. That's it.
That's true.
Yeah, there's your gimmick.
I mean, I had fun with that one. I thought it was actually a pretty good match. I mean, everybody knew that fucking Okada was winning, but when Okada started doing the fucking Aussie thing and just elbowing the shit out of him, that was fun. Just more than anything, I just enjoy Okada just having fun being an asshole. Because like for so long he was a face in New Japan, so like he finally gets to be a dick. Like some of the stuff they're having him do doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, but he seems like he's having a good time with it.
True. Yeah, he is. They look like he's having a good time, even though they've kind of made him a little bit of a, well, pun intended, bitch.
Norhub says Garcia can't speak Spanish, as can't Sammy. They suck. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'll go with that. Oh,
there's Mini Ospreay.
He's Ospreay's friend. Exactly.
He's Denzel's pal, but he's not Denzel. If you want to go back to the fucking New Jack.
I mean, we had the Jamie Hayter match. Exactly. if you want to go back to New Jack and beyond the mat. Jamie Hayter, Robin Renegade, one of the most probably generic names in the wrestling business. This at least
you mentioned Glow
earlier.
God. She seems like somebody that just damn alone would have been perfect on Glow.
Here's what I love. They introduce her. She's talking shit to the crowd. They introduce her. She stops, turns around, gives this awesome little like cheerleader smile for like 3 seconds, turns around and goes right back to trash talking the crowd. I was like, I was laughing my ass off. But good girl.
That's it.
Then we had this Renee Paquette with Roderick Strong and Christopher Daniels. No one gave a fuck. Hook was back there. Who gives a shit? John Moxley and Marina Shafir. Now, rumor is he's basing this character off of a neo-Nazi, someone way back, but it also has something to do with American History X also. The character played by a little bit. So we'll see where this character goes, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm right now not crazy about it. Marina Shafir, I don't think is good at all. So
I'm curious as to where it's going. I don't want to reserve judgment. But yeah, I do agree that just like they could have picked anybody else to be alongside Moxley. Like you're right, Marina Shafir is fucking terrible. Or she at least was her first iteration in AEW is fucking terrible. I mean, so we'll see if she gets any better. But
this can only be heading to one place, and this is him curb stomping Swerve.
It'd be great if this actually was to get Shane in there. Then Shane comes out and he's just completely fucking bald. He's a skinhead too.
See, literally, as I said that, Cheese said it right when I was saying it. He literally parallel thinking there, Cheese. Parallel thinking. I'm glad. Can't believe we both thought the same racist bullshit. Anyway, keeping it alive for you, Cheese.
I'm saying he thinks it's how MVP Lindsay and Shelton get introduced.
I think he meant Lashley.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it might have auto-corrected on his phone. Might have auto-corrected.
That seems to be the most logical outcome. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that'd be interesting, I guess, but I don't think they need Moxley to be a part of that group per se, but...
No, probably not. But, I mean, look, we'll just have to see where it goes. I think Marina Shafir is, like, not good. There's a reason she was let go from WWE or NXT because she's not good. I did think this was a funny segment though with the Jericho thing where Orange Cassidy walks up and won't even talk to Jericho. Yeah, that was a funny one. That was good. You like that one at least?
Yeah, I like that. It seems like, do you not remember the character from Family Guy, the Weatherman character? It seems like that's what they're trying to make Brian Keith out to be. Where it's like they fucking Ollie Williams with the black weather forecast, and he goes, "It's gonna rain."
You're gonna hate.
It's like that seems like they're. Oh, go ahead.
I've never seen one episode of Family Guy in my life.
Well, I pretty much already told you the bit, but I can find the clip. Give me a second.
I have never seen ever in my life. Never seen one. I've never seen that. I've never seen a Lord of the Rings movie. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie.
I've actually never. Well, now I'm right there with you for both of those.
Yep, never seen those. I never watched Walking Dead. I never watched Breaking Bad. Yellowstone.
Let's see. I feel like Yellowstone would be right up your alley. I've never actually seen it, but it seems.
I do want to check it out. It does seem like it's right up my alley. 100% does seem like it's right there. Actually, it is right up my alley with those kind of movies, those kind of Western action kind of things going on. I do want, and I'm a Kevin Costner fan. You know, my draft day guy.
Like I'm trying to upload something right now, so I'm not going to hit the 8s button, but just know I'm thinking.
Look, he did one movie you don't like. Let's not fucking hate the guy for the rest of his career, please. He has a lot of great movies out there.
You don't know how many movies of his I don't like. I mean, yeah, that's the only one I could name that I don't like. But if we go down his catalog, I'm sure I could find.
I don't know. I like some Kevin Costner. He's been in some good movies. Movies that I like. I like Draft Day, like I said. I think it might be because I'm not a sports fan. I think if you probably, I've said this before. I think if you are a sports fan, I get why you don't like that movie. But did you find what you were looking up?
Here it is. I think so. I think this is right. I gotta fucking do a better job of like organizing my library of clips because they have assembled quite a few now. So this might be the right thing, and this might not be the right thing.
Welcome back to Quahog 5 News. And now here's Ollie Williams with the Blackie weather forecast. Ollie?
It's gonna rain.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's what Brian Keith was like. That's how his character is coming off to me. Is he just yells shit like that at the same sort of like cadence and like tempo tone.
I might have to. Christopher, what's going on, my man? I'm sorry, I didn't even notice you dropped in. You dropped in about a couple minutes ago. Good to see you, my man.
Yeah, he's wondering how you haven't seen so many things. Oh yeah, Family Guy specifically, because he says Family Guy is always on the air somewhere. Like especially the local, if you still have like the antenna televisions, like all the local like fucking Fox channels will show.
All right. First of all, I haven't had cable in years, so I've pretty much been watching. But here's my thing. I don't like watching things I haven't watched, and I'll explain why. First of all, I have 3 kids running around the house. I'm usually doing stuff while I'm watching a movie. I'm usually running around trying to get dishes done or doing something with the kids, or I'm coming in here or doing stuff like that. I'll even come in here and work while watching a movie and do stuff while watching a movie because I wear wireless headphones while watching a movie usually.
Right.
But it's hard for me to sit and watch things I haven't seen and concentrate on them. I'll either have to pause it 15,000 times or I'll have to just, wait till my kids go to sleep, which, my God, my daughter she's up all fucking night sometimes. So it's just hard for me to do. And I mean, my wife hates doing laundry. I'll go do laundry while I'm listening to a movie that I've seen 100,000 times. It's just something I do.
I want to be a good teammate here. I want to be a good co-host for you, and I want to like take your side on this.
You don't have
also
to.
Said multiple times that you've seen like almost the entire catalog of Bruce Willis movies. So like you could allocate some of the Bruce Willis time into exploring programs, media properties that are perhaps capturing the zeitgeist a bit more than like the Bruce Willis Tubi collection.
But now I've seen those, so I can watch them again while I'm doing stuff around the house.
No further questions, Your Honor. You got
See? Actually, this week has been more of a Jason Statham week for some reason. I don't know why, but man, him and Jet Li have 2 good movies they did together. They did The One, which was the first one they did, and they did another one called War. Unbelievable, fucking very intense movie. Statham really did some good stuff that just didn't get out there, but he's got some good movies, Jason Statham, believe it or not.
I mean, it all depends on what you're looking for in a movie.
If you watch War, it's not the things blowing up kind of action movie. It's more of a martial arts kind of movie, which I love. There's guns and shit in it, but it's more martial arts fighting, less explosions. There's a couple explosions. I've got to have some explosions. But but The One was a good one. I think that's the only movie I can think of where Delroy Lindo dies.
Have you seen Monkey Man?
I have it.
That's pretty good. I watched it this weekend. It's basically like sort of a Middle Eastern John Wick.
Everyone was comparing it to a sort of John Wick. I do want to check out Monkey Man. I do have it. I have that. Actually, even today I got the I know it's on. Actually, everyone has it. It's on Netflix. The Kobayashi thing, which Nikki did show up for that. Nikki Bella. She did. She showed up to host it.
For the eating contest on Labor Day?
She was the host. Her and that comedian, the Marine, Dan Fogel. Dan Fogel.
Dan Soder?
Dan Soder. Thank you, sir.
I honestly thought you were going to say Bert Kreisler, and I was like, oh, Jesus.
No, this guy.
Because he's fucking all over the place, and he's not funny at all.
Yeah, he was at the Tom Brady roast.
Now, I feel like based on our discussion last week, I sort of the obvious question and low-hanging fruit. Did she have any visible scarring going on?
I didn't see, but the picture I saw, no.
Okay.
No.
They did her for real. They did her dirty because, like, she was trying to stay anonymous, and then they were like, they put it out there that they were married. There's like hint, and it's like, Jesus Christ. The woman did get assaulted. It's like she probably doesn't want the world to know about it.
Yeah, she probably wanted to keep it quiet at least until this appearance was over.
Yes. She says Dan Soder does the best Macho Man impression. Also, he's a fairly funny guy, and he's married to Katie Nolan, so good for him.
And former Marine over in Iraq, over there, and during the Desert Storm, did some. He's pretty badass.
I think we're thinking of two different guys then, because
we might be. Let me see here. Let me get a picture of Dan Soder.
Are you thinking perhaps of Rob Riggle?
No, Rob Riggle. That's who I'm thinking of.
Because Dan Soder is like roughly 7 years older than I am. So I don't think that's
no, Rob Riggle is exactly who I'm thinking of, and I think that's who was with her. Hold on. Joey, I bet that pops up almost right away.
Coco Diaz?
Joey Chestnut.
That'd be a wild eating competition. Okay. That is Dan Soder. That's
I saw it. That's not him. Ron Riggle is exactly who I'm thinking of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
That's who I believe was with her. That's who I believe was with her during that. I'm trying to make sure I'm right here. Yep, Rob Riggle. That's who it is.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. I was gonna say this seems like a weird casting decision, but whatever. But yeah, that makes a lot more sense with it being Rob.
Yeah, so she did show up to that. I do want to check that out. I put that in my sports folder. So, all right, let's do this. We still had a couple things to go through on Dynamite, but why don't we do it while we're going through the? Want to do some quick predictions here? We're all out, and pretty much I think we got it. We got it done.
Sure. She said he sent you the Dan Soder. He does a Macho Man impression. He said he sent it in the messenger. That'd be up to you to pull up because for whatever reason, when I share audio, it doesn't do the audio when I share screen. Well, it's usually most of those clips are only like 2 or 3 minutes, so we could probably squeeze it in. But yeah, we could do predictions.
Well, hold on a second because I'm gonna have to take this and actually email it to myself because remember, I can't get to that messenger on my computer.
Oh, I can also post the link for the video in the private chat. I forgot that.
That would be awesome if you could do that real quick. Because I think he put it in our little messenger thing.
Yeah.
So
we can do predictions and I'll post the link while we're doing it.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the screen sharing as we're talking here, Smark. There we go. There we are. That's about as large as I can make it right there. Yeah, that's about as large. That's good enough. You guys can read that, right? All right. Actually, I'm going to go right from there anyway. So we got, let's go ahead and start number 1. We'll go down to number 8 because that is obviously only 8 matches for a, wow.
That's a brisk AEW show.
Tony's slipping. He's slipping, guys. He's slipping. Yes, on Saturday is when the pay-per-view is going down. Will Ospreay versus Pac. This is a singles match. This is for the AEW International Championship. Let's not forget Will Ospreay just won that bad boy. I say he keeps it. Pac never wins anyway. Smark, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to echo those sentiments. I think Ospreay holds on to the belt.
Pac doesn't win much, especially on pay-per-views. So, yeah. 8 is enough. That was a good show. Scott. I agree. I don't think that's what he meant. But that was a TV show back in the day. All right. Yeah. She says Ospreay. There will be a 20-man.
Still right. There's going to be a 20-man tag match.
20-man battle royal. Probably. You're right. You're probably right. It'll be the All Out something battle royal. Yeah, you're right.
The Casino Gauntlet. They actually do that pretty well. Like, it's funny because they managed to figure out the clusterfuck matches.
Well, they just put everyone in the ring at once and say, "Okay, go."
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
what I like about that is that they say, and obviously it doesn't, that they wait until everybody gets out there, but they say the match can end at any time. That's what I like, because I don't like the fucking war game shit or the blood and guts if we're doing AEW, because everybody has to get in the ring first before the actual match can begin. And I fucking hate that. I like the idea that people can be eliminated, or in the case of the gauntlet match, it could just end at any time. Like, make the cage match, make whatever your war games or war games knockoff is. Make it so that if you get pinned, you get eliminated, then there's an actual disadvantage, not the fucking implied disadvantage that they try to make it seem like it's actually a big deal, but everybody has to wait until everybody's fighting together anyway. It's like, fuck that shit.
It does take a little bit out of the match, because you're right. No one can be. It's just like you have to take a beating before everything goes on there. But yeah, I do agree. I get it. You're right. I kind of like the way they start the battle royals with everybody in the ring. It's kind of easier, quicker. You know who's there. You just go, let them fight it out.
I'm sad to see hopes the Lucha Brothers get on the show. I don't think that's happening, unfortunately.
I don't either. I'm not sure where they're going to be, but that might not be this show, but they might be on some show soon. We've got a tag team match here for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks versus Blackpool Combat Club. This is going to be the usual. The Young Bucks versus Claudio and Wheeler, though, is going to be the two from the Blackpool Combat, which looks like they still got Bryan kind of hanging around the group a little bit, but not Moxley.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about this is it's very obvious who's going to win, because this match was made by Claudio getting on the microphone and saying, "Hey, we're not booked for the pay-per-view. Can we wrestle you guys?" It's like, yeah, of course you're going to win this, to win the titles now.
Yeah, of course.
He literally said, "I'm doing nothing, as far as I know, for fucking All Out."
He's right. He was right. But there you go. So,
Young Bucks.
Yep. So there we go. We got a match right there. Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Which I think is pretty stupid.
Pretty stupid. Yeah, we lost you.
Gotten started with them being asshole EVPs. It's not helping the product. So it would be smart. Yeah, I know. I just kept going. I got the other recording going, so we're good. I think
you're saying it's not doing anybody favors if the Young Bucks still doing the EVP.
No, I think the smart move would be to put it on Blackpool Combat Club. I do not think the Young Bucks or AEW or Tony Khan is smart enough to actually take the belts off of them, because storyline still has to continue. So I think
says Young Bucks win. Norep says dumb bums win. Everybody's having fun with the Young Bucks name. We're all doing some madcaps here. Yeah, I think fucking Young Bucks are going to win too. Well, we didn't talk about real quick, because you mentioned the Moxley thing on that Dynamite. He walked past them to, like, I think, get out there to cut the promo. And he looks at Jack Perry and he goes, "I don't care what anyone says. I think you're a sweet kid." It's like, that was so fucking amazing, because he's just like completely no-selling the idea that he's supposed to be this badass character. It's like, oh, you're such a sweet boy. This is just like way to fucking cut his legs out from under him. I mean, I'm sure that'll lead to something.
Or is that going to be his Edward Furlong? There was a brother in that movie.
I saw the movie, but I honestly don't remember hardly anything from it.
Really is a good movie. It's a great movie, actually. It is a great movie. Really is. We have a Chicago street fight. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. Chris will be out there with Stokely. Willow's not much of a winner. Chris Statlander is the one they're really trying to get over here. I'm sorry. She just doesn't go out there and win matches.
You're not wrong. It's just a funny way of playing. It's the most polite way of saying that you're a jobber that I've ever heard. Like, you're not much of a winner.
I didn't say Willow Nightingale's a loser. Well, I did now. Now I did, but Chris Statlander is who I got in this match.
I'm going to agree just based on the idea that Willow said that she's never lost a street fight. She made a big deal out of that. So, like, now's the time for that to happen.
Yeah. Now, we can't do this one yet because of them. It hasn't been determined, but right now we know there's going to be a 4-way match for the AEW Continental Championship. And right now it's Okada. So right now I have Okada.
Yeah, I guess based on the evidence given to me, I'm going to also go Okada. I'm glad that the spoilers haven't come out for that yet, or that the collision hasn't happened yet, because that card actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I guess between tomorrow and Saturday. Wait, aren't they doing both? They're doing both shows tomorrow night, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing Collision. I don't know if they're still doing Rampage or if they're just like rolling Collision into like the Rampage slot or whatever. They said that they're doing Collision at like 8 p.m. Friday, so it's going to be competing with SmackDown. I'm surprised more people haven't made a big deal out of this.
Oh, as soon as the ratings come out, it'll be all, look, my company's better than your company. Whoever that was an impression of. Singles match, folks. MJF versus Dancing Daniel Garcia. I'm surprised they haven't called him the Dancer, Daniel Garcia. Daniel the Dancer Garcia. Everyone else has a shitty fucking name in this company.
I think the best thing about Daniel Garcia recently is that there is a GIF from one of the Stardom shows of Mina Shirakawa doing the Daniel Garcia dance, and like fucking Dave Meltzer's like, oh, she's got great crowd charisma or live event charisma. It's like, Dave, you're horny because she's shaking, she's gyrating at the camera, and you're just like, oh, kid's got the X Factor.
Yeah,
like, Dave, go be horny somewhere else. Like, just you don't have to comment. You just wipe your hands and go on about your day.
Yeah, nobody was looking at that. We were all looking at her cleavage.
Mm-hmm.
Just be honest, Dave. Just go out there and say, "Holy!"
Well, just murder boat.
I mean, she got great. Okay. It's really.
I would love if that's what that was it. That's how he decided. That's what his swan song was to just be like, you know what? Let's cut the pretext. Let's cut the bullshit pretext. It's just like, you just cut to Alvarez just looking dumbfounded as he signs off.
Oh, it's funny. Dirk always says I am a much more coherent Meltzer on here.
He used to be. Like, I saw a clip, I think it was like from Beyond the Mat, of him talking about Vince McMahon, and he like actually seemed like he knew what planet he was on.
I don't know, man. Steroids, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I get a little, I do a lot of and ah and pauses, and I stammer, I stutter. It happens. I just did it there. But it's me. It's just the way I talk. I do stammer.
Almost every sentence, though.
I know.
Like, I get the idea of, like, we're on here for like 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes or whatever. And we don't necessarily always have direction for what it is, where it is that we're going, and what it is that we're talking about. So you can be prone to doing that, as I just did. But like, he has a more like sort of point A to point B, like linear path to what it is that he's speaking about, are talking about. And he's still just, even when the objective is right in front of him, it's still a lot of ums and you knows and just pauses.
Right.
I mean, I think the man is also like in his 60s at this point, so it's like shit happens. You start to lose some of the steam on the fastball, but my goodness, man.
Yeah, but think about how drunk I've been on some of these shows.
Likewise, yes.
I mean, I have been fucked up on some of these shows and still fucking done pretty good. I'm not saying good, but pretty good.
Do you think he either needs to stop or start? Because it'd be pretty great if fucking Dave Meltzer was just out here just down in fucking bottle after bottle of like tequila rose before Observer Live starts.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'll tell you this, though. Me and my wife did find out something about 2 months ago. We were checking my shot glasses. We needed a couple, and we found out the glasses that we had been doing shots out of were double shots.
But of course, yes.
No, we did not know that.
Honestly, joking aside, I think a lot of them are. I think most of the like shot glasses that you could buy in like stores are typically double.
No,
maybe I'm wrong about this.
No, they're usually 1.5 ounce. But someone got me these for Christmas, and I didn't even check to see what they were. And you know, me and my wife, there were nights we would literally go through like 10, 15 shots, then realizing they were double shots. So really, we did 20 or 30 shots.
These things happen.
Ooh, we haven't done that since, and my body feels better. My body feels better. We have those glasses in the back. We put those in the back. We made a double shot side and a single shot side. So
I haven't had anything to drink since New Year's, and as it turns out, if you actually spend more time going to the gym than you do binge drinking, your body does actually tend to feel better. Strangely enough, science is a funny thing.
You know, I ain't got time for that.
Well, also just not drinking every day can also benefit you.
Benefit
you to drink every day too, depending on what your circumstances are.
I mean,
because I've been on both sides of that spectrum.
I'm pushing 50. I need to do I need to stop drinking every night. It's just
I want to go back on what I said, because there's no way that Dave Meltzer's out here drinking tequila rose. He's obviously drinking Midori, because it's like sort of Asian, but it's not really, and that's kind of Meltzer's vibe.
What is? But you said Midori?
Yeah, Midori.
Oh, I like Midori.
The melon liquor.
It's green. It's melon. Yeah, I know. It's good. I like Midori.
Mm-hmm.
A little Midori and a shot of Jaeger is pretty fucking good.
Interesting.
It's really good, actually. It's really good. Put a little bit of that and a little bit of Jaeger. Anyway, now that we're done talking about the fact that I'm a complete drunk, we got MJF versus Daniel Garcia. This is a singles match. You know, I'll tell you, for the reason there's no title on the line, there's nothing really on the line here. It's just a singles match. They might actually let Daniel Garcia pull out a win here.
I enjoy how you said that as just like a charity case. It's like, we'll let the little guy win one.
I mean, what? I mean,
I hate to keep agreeing with you, because I think I've agreed with you on all of these so far. But yeah, he did just mention that, he implied that his mom was a whore, and then he smashed a bottle over his head when he tried to avenge the reputation of his mother. So it's like, you kind of do have to let him win this one, or else you just completely killed his character.
I think you do need to. I think you need to let him win. And I think, again, nothing on the fucking line here. There's no title. It's not a street fight. It's not this. It's not for a shot at anything. It's just a match with nothing on the line. I'm definitely saying Garcia. It doesn't hurt MJF to lose. All it does is further along the storyline. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It does no damage, in my opinion. Noreb says MJF. We got two.
Scott saying it is a charity win.
Charity win. Noreb says MJF. Garcia wins the next one. See, I disagree. I don't think Garcia will. I don't think he will. I think this is the one you let him win right here. All Out. This is it. This is his moment.
I do think Garcia is winning it, but I do see what Norab's saying about, because then you have MJF losing it back-to-back pay-per-view. So I could see why Tony Khan would want that, but like at the same time, also like they're pay-per-views that are like within 2 weeks of each other. So it's like kind of just one, really.
Yeah, but you got to remember, MJF doesn't have the belt. He still has to get the belt for Garcia to chase a belt.
Mm-hmm.
He's got no belt. So either this story continues or MJF wins and it's fucking over. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I could be wrong. I could be. I'm wrong all the fucking time, and I do not give a shit. I'll be wrong again, as I always say.
If we isolate that, that just sounds like you're about to like fucking host a news show. Like, I've been wrong and I'll be wrong again.
I will. I will be wrong again. God damn it. That's what happens. It's called life. You're not always right. It's just the way it works.
If ever there was a mission statement for like what it is that we've been doing for the last couple of years, this is like, be wrong again. Fuck you. Wrong all the time. We have no credibility. We don't know a goddamn thing. Thank you for tuning in.
Basically told I was wrong when I brought this show back in the first place. So who gives a shit? Okay. So, I mean, we're the wrong show. We should just change our name to the wrong show. We're wrong. We're just wrong. Right. We're wrong. Wrong. All right. So now we go to the next match. Oh, wait. Are we both saying Garcia or are you going MJF? You're saying, okay.
Yeah, I went Garcia.
I thought you did, but I wasn't 100%. I just wanted to make sure. So now we have a singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. It is the promo master herself, Mercedes Moné, versus Hikaru Shida, and Camille is barred from ringside.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much money in Mercedes. She can't lose it here. In my opinion, no, she can't. I would love Shida to get that title back. I really would. But nope, Mercedes.
Yeah, same. I mean, there's no reason for Shida to win it. Like they haven't really built the feud all that much. It's just,
right.
It's kind of a throwaway match. It doesn't make sense for her to lose the belt in a throwaway match.
Yeah. It's just the way the storyline is going. It's not going with a Shida win. Sheeta's looking thicker lately. What has she done? Not bad. I am not complaining. She's looking amazing lately. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, she's looking good. She's looking good.
She's not Tony Storm thick, but not everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So both of us saying Mercedes on this one.
That's correct.
All right. Singles match for the AEW World Championship. This is Bryan Danielson versus Jack Perry, which I was surprised they didn't have a little more. Did they have interaction last night? They really didn't, did they?
Sort of, yeah, kind of, sort of, because there was like the post-match shenanigans after the trios match.
Yep. As soon as you said it, my mind clicked to it. After the post-match stuff, that's what it was. You're right. You're 100% right. Danielson, I mean, just won it with that story. You can't take the title off. Wait, Danielson needs surgery soon, he said.
Yeah, and there's also they basically made the winner of the Casino Gauntlet match sort of an all-in, or not all-in, sort of a Money in the Bank scenario. So like Christian can get a title match whenever he wants. Like they're not straight up saying Money in the Bank. That's what it is. So he can have a title shot whenever he wants it. So like he could get involved before the match, after the match, etc., etc.
Nah, I'm still going with Danielson here.
Yeah, I had too, but there is sort of that threat that we haven't seen Christian since the pay-per-view. So it's like he's kind of looming.
Yeah, it is, but we'll see. But I definitely got Danielson here. I think it's too early. Jack Perry will have that title, and I think Jack Perry will have that title either by the end of this year or very early next year. I think he'll have that title pretty quick. Listen, the guy is over right now. People love what he's doing. If anybody capitalized off of that video being shown, it was him. And I give the guy fucking respect for what he's done since that fucking debacle came out. At least someone made them showing that All In footage from last year worth something. I think Jack Perry has at least made it. What's the word I'm looking for here? He's made it at least not be completely fucking stupid and meaningless.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the surprising part. Is like, if I recall correctly, he was the one that was saying that he didn't want that footage to be shown, and like you could kind of understand why, because he didn't necessarily put up the best fight for himself. But like, yeah, and in hindsight, it ended up working out quite well for him and for them, because when they aired it, we were talking about, pretty much everyone was talking about, like, why the fuck did you do this? Like, no one can benefit from this. You look bad. Jack Perry looks bad. Like, everybody involved in AEW looks, it looks more negative than it does positive. It reflects poorly on them more so than it helps anyone. And like, they actually managed to make something out of this very unexpectedly, but good for them. They made it work.
Yeah. And I will tell you, if I have, if there's any match I'm not like 100% that I might think I might be wrong, this is it. Because we all know the Young Bucks could always get involved and do something stupid. This match could suddenly, on Saturday, this match could suddenly become no DQ and they're involved and Jack Perry wins it. I got a feeling if I'm wrong on any match, this might be it. So
could be.
We'll see, but I'm still picking Danielson to win it. I don't think right now. No, Reb. You know what? We'll bring that up in a minute. We've got time. We'll bring it up. Just let us finish this, and we'll jump right into that. I promise. Okay. Swerve Strickland is the next match versus Hangman Adam Page. Now, this is an unsanctioned, lights out steel cage match. Now, this is a pretty cool thing because what they did last night I thought was really good. I thought it was a good thing. On Tuesday, we got this video. Of Swerve and Nana at Swerve's childhood house. And he went and Swerve, with his bonus money, went and bought back his house. Now, if you didn't see the way this was going, excuse me, when he said he used his AEW bonus money, he right there put a storyline on it. I swear to God, when I saw him buy this house, I said, the house is gone. The house is gone. But everybody was, oh, this is great. He told a great story. Oh, this is the first tree I climbed. This was the first this was the first that. He told some pretty good stories. Last night, Adam Page, basically, it was almost a rerun of what Swerve did to him. He was walking around his house. He was looking through the rooms. And then he goes through and he burns the house down. Now, I'm sure a lot of people thought of the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt thing. I did too. But where he was sitting, this had to be a CGI fire. Just by the way, I'm not saying, it had to be. He was sitting right in the flame. The chair was technically on fire if you watched it. He wouldn't have been sitting there. And you know how much,
at the very least, it was like done by like sort of a controlled like pyrotechnics company that like had some experience with that kind of shit. Like I could totally buy that it was CGI too. That's the fun part of it too, though, is that you're watching it and you're trying to figure out how it works. So like that's sort of the fun part of it too, is that like you want to know the secret. You're not entirely sure, but you have an idea. It's like, it's at least it's making you think. It's making you like analyze what it is that's going on versus like, that was another fucking dumb segment on a forgettable show. Let's move on. It's like, it's got you to think about it. It's got you to talk about it. It was a really good segment.
I thought it was a great segment, even if it was CGI. It didn't take away from how good the segment was. I'm just saying, when I looked at the way he started that fire, it looked like it went from suddenly regular to a green screen. And again, do you know what the heat would have been like on a fire like that?
Yeah, could have been.
His fucking hair would have been on fire.
Maybe it was. He comes back and he doesn't have any hair.
Maybe. Still was a good segment. I'm not. It didn't take away anything. Not at all. But it was a good segment last night. Now,
That was very easily the best promo he's ever cut, in my opinion. Hangman Page, and it was great because it was like he said, he was like, you told me to decide what I wanted more. Did I want like career success, or did I want vengeance? Did I want to just continue to be obsessed with you? Did I want to choose hatred? It's like, the answer is clear. Yes, I'm about to set your house on fire. Fuck you. And it's just like, I like that because he's just like, I don't care anymore. Like, I hate you so much that yes, I am willing to sacrifice the short-term success for foreseeable future of my career just so that I can fucking get the vengeance that I seek. It's pretty cool.
Dude, you go in my kid's room, the minimum I'm going to do to you is burn your fucking house down. Right. I'm glad they're sort of calling back that old storyline, because it should be called back because of what Swerve did. I'm glad. I like this whole feud. I like this whole storyline callback. I like this whole thing being run back again. I really do.
And that's the thing, is if they had the match, I don't know exactly when, like what the date was that the feud began, but they had a match on Full Gear of last year in November, and I believe it was early November, Full Gear. So like, this has been going on for nearly a year. And yes, there have been some breaks here and there, people wrestling different opponents. But like, that's the point, is like, it's not, because we were talking about the Jericho Hook feud that seemingly never ends. And maybe it's over now, maybe it's not. But it's like, if you make the feud actually good and compelling and you create an interesting narrative, you can go for a fucking full year. And people are still just as engaged now as perhaps more so than ever. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you're actually telling an interesting story, you can get away with a very, very long, drawn out feud, because it's still probably going to keep going after this match, and people are fine with that.
Yeah, but AEW doesn't tell stories, Mark.
This is true.
So they say. Meanwhile, this has been going on, like you just said, since November-ish. and what Swerve did was intense. What Page is doing now is intense. I'm just liking it. I think it's all worked. It fits. And I think that's why it even works. It is even more enjoyable. It all just fits into one neat little pile. And it's all coming together. It's a plan coming together. I love when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
So in this match, though, Smark, we need to make a decision here. You got to have Swerve. You got to have Swerve. I mean, he still has the Swerve.
Yes. Swerve, no, but here's why, though.
Wait. Swerve doesn't have the title right now. I for some reason, I thought he still did. Is it Swerve? Why would you? No. Hangman set his house on fire. He's winning. Swerve's winning. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but they announced that it's going to be an unsanctioned, lights out steel cage match. So, long story short, with it being unsanctioned, it's not actually counting towards the win-loss records that they actually don't really show you anymore, and they removed from the roster page. But anyways, the whole point of the story is that Hangman keeps saying that Swerve can't beat him, because like they had the draw, and then he made the whole big deal of the Swerve never actually been able to beat him. He's just been able to like cheat to win and then draw to him. But he's never had like a clean, concise victory. So you could say that if this doesn't count towards win-loss records, that Swerve beats him, but then you won an unsanctioned match, so you still didn't beat me, so we have to wrestle again.
Okay. Wow. All that to say Swerve, huh?
Yep, all that just to say I agree. You did a fucking whole word salad that I hope everyone enjoyed.
Actually, you just gave basically an answer like I do, long-winded for no fucking reason. But that's not a problem at all. I think you do have to have Swerve be the winner here. I mean, you could have Hangman win this match too. It wouldn't be the worst thing. But I would more than likely go with Swerve on this. I would more likely. So I'll go with that. The only match I'm worried about is that Bryan match. I got a feeling Bryan and Jack Perry. I got a feeling shenanigans possibly can happen in that match, and we could get an upset. Bryan could go get that surgery. We don't know, but we'll see.
There's a chance. There's a chance that Perry could win. There's also a chance that Hangman could win, because I don't think that's what's going to happen. But then if Swerve loses, that he doesn't get the revenge that he wants, and then he becomes the one that's obsessed with like getting revenge on Hangman instead of Hangman being obsessed with getting revenge on Swerve. So you sort of flip it. It's possible.
But if Hangman wins, that's a great heel move, burning down someone's house and then kicking their ass. That's heel shit, bro. That's fucking cowboy shit, bro.
I will say this: Swerve doesn't. It won't hurt Swerve's momentum if he loses. This is not like a Daniel Garcia situation where he's going to look like a total bitch if he loses.
No, not at all. And that's one of the good things about this match. Either one loses, the story continues. Either one wins, the story continues. It's just, I'm just saying, that's fucking. They're trying to get this guy over as a fucking dirty heel. Man, burning down a motherfucker's house and then beating the shit out of him. That's some heel shit, dude.
It's starting to become more and more plausible now. The more that I think about it, I'm staying with Swerve, but it's.
I am too. But I'm just saying, there's a story here for Hangman winning too. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's pretty cut and dry, but there is a story here for each one winning, which makes it a good match.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good match.
Makes it a good match. So we'll see. Now it's gonna be so unsanctioned that they're gonna have a referee and everything. And music and
They don't necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually didn't do entrance music, because if it's supposed to be like lights out, I can see them just like omitting the entrance music and all the fanfare that comes with that, because it's gone on after the title match, so it's like technically not part of the pay-per-view, but it is part of the pay-per-view. Also, if it's a cage match, there's really no reason why you would necessarily need a ref. If you just did like the old school, it just kind of doesn't really work for the stakes being what they are. But if you just have it be like the winner is the one that leaves the cage.
So just have a ref on the outside. That could happen. But you got to have a ref inside to count. Again, I don't know the rules for this match yet.
Yeah, who knows?
So we'll see. But yeah, there's definitely a story here for either one winning this match. My God, we're actually running a little long here. I didn't think we were going to run this long tonight. God damn it. Fucking Bruce Willis.
That's right.
It's Bruce Willis's fault. Fuck Bruce Willis. God, he's such a great man. Anyway, but all right,
an emotional roller coaster there. It was fuck Bruce Willis, and it kind of sounded like that was more of a suggestion and less of like a disparaging remark.
He is a great
national treasure. Love him. Actually, that's Nick Cage's movie. It's not Bruce Willis. Yep, you're gone. He's gone. I slandered Bruce Willis, and then he leaves. And unfortunately, the Ravens lost. That sucks. On to Dan Soder, yes. Except the fucking audio doesn't work when I share the screen. So that's not going to work. Anyways, we were going to talk about the Odyssey Jones thing. I'm sure there he is.
I was going to talk about the Odyssey Jones thing, and I accidentally closed the wrong window. That was my fault, folks. My fault. Sorry about that. But yeah, I was going to talk about the Odyssey Jones thing, and we are going to talk about it right now. He was quietly removed from the roster page. I believe this started coming out, Monday?
I think it was released Monday.
It was Sunday or Monday we started hearing he was gone from the roster page. he was doing a few things with New Day, with Kofi, and why can't I think of the other guy's name in New Day?
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Thank you very much. My God, how could I forget his name? He was banging Page. So he was doing a few things with them, literally just a couple of weeks ago, and then suddenly he was kind of gone. Now, during that time, I guess there was a woman going on Twitter and outing him for basically domestic violence, basically saying she spent a weekend with him and thought she was going to die over that weekend. And she did not stop. She just kept posting and posting and posting. There were some transphobic comments made by him in 2022, but these allegations of the domestic violence have really led to him being released, it looks like, quietly from WWE. So I don't know, but no one really knows what's going on. WWE has not commented much on this yet. I don't have the woman's tweets, but like I said, I did see them earlier, and I know one of them was basically saying I was over that weekend, I could have died. Basically saying he's nothing but a woman beater. So they are not a company like WWE, a publicly traded company, is not even going to play with shit like this. Listen, when Matt Riddle was starting to get a little out of control, they didn't fucking play with him either. They dumped his ass.
Right.
They fucking dumped his ass quick. They weren't even fucking playing with that bullshit. And Matt Riddle was not exactly Matt Riddle was definitely a higher level than Odyssey Jones.
Right.
But yeah, they WWE ain't fucking around no more with any of these allegations or bullshit. Listen, you go back to when Stone Cold had the little, thing with Deborah. How much you want to bet they would have fired his ass back then if it was now?
Oh, for sure. Yes. I mean, I think they would have kept him on a little bit longer than they kept on Odyssey Jones and Matt Riddle. But they would have gotten rid of him. Also, I honestly think it's fair to sort of, I don't know if question, but just sort of keep in mind the idea of the Vince stuff is still looming large. So they're still in the public eye. They're still under a lot of scrutiny. They're not leaving anything to chance. Even if it's just allegations, they're not putting up with you're absolutely you can't be disposed of. I don't know why I can't think of the term or the word for that, but unless you're absolutely irreplaceable to them and you have an allegation come up against you, that's the word. They're going to get rid of you.
Yeah, they will. And I listen, it's number one, the Vince thing. Number one, it's a different company owning them now. I don't think TKO is really interfering on the business side, but I think when it comes to stuff like this, they've got to. So, everyone has to look good, but I think you made a great point with the Vince thing. You're right. They need to act quick on stuff like this in order to kind of spin control.
Absolutely.
Now I can't think of words. It's fucking contagious, Mark.
Yeah, the perception, the optics, as it were.
Optics. There, you love that word, optics. But yeah, so he's just kind of been quietly removed from the roster, and they got rid of Enzo, even though he had a consensual penis.
A hashtag consensual penis.
Enzo got rid of Enzo because Enzo was an asshole backstage, and they were looking to get rid of him. They were waiting for something like that to come out to get rid of Enzo.
He would have gotten fired for sure, whether or not he actually did anything.
I liked Enzo. A lot of people liked Enzo. The people backstage did not like Enzo because Enzo we saw was the same Enzo backstage, according to everybody. So he was not
a real slippery slope because they tell you that you're supposed to project yourself as a star and you're supposed to act like you're a big deal. but then that seems like it's very easy to like believe your own bullshit to such a degree that shit like that ends up happening.
I understand projecting that on camera, but when you go backstage, you have to be a fucking human being, a person, a fucking.
That is true.
You know, you can't always be that. I hate to say it, but the Ric Flair living the fucking gimmick days are over. Ric Flair is probably the last guy that is still living his fucking gimmick, and people still kind of love.
Yeah, depends on who you ask. I mean, that's the kind of thing, is just wrestling being what it was for the last couple of decades. Like, no matter who it is, if you started watching wrestling at any point before, like fucking like right now, seemingly, like a couple of people that you really love are probably not going to be the best human beings. That happens in any form of art, to be fair, but you have to like sort of like reconcile with who they are versus who they were on television, or you know, their wrestler, their ability in ring and all that kind of shit. You have to like sort of make certain exceptions.
Yeah, nowadays you immediately find out who the bad people are, because any little thing can be immediately put out as if someone tapes you. I mean, it's everywhere now. You used to have to actually buy newspapers to see what the fuck was going on. Not anymore, man. It hits your phone as soon as it fucking happens. Instant fucking information, instant fucking gratification. That's what we've got.
She says the internet's going to say that Odyssey was fired because Triple H is racist. I'm saying that like them like all like coming out and just immediately saying that they thought AEW overpaid for Swerve. It's like bad for your public perception. Stop that shit. Because like they started saying all the people that they extended, and it's like there's kind of a theme to the people that they do have under big money contracts. It's like, ugh, just maybe be quiet about like whether or not Swerve's got paid too much.
Yeah. But people have already said it. I've seen it online. Triple H fired him because he's black, blah, blah, blah.
That would be mildly amusing if that actually was what he did. And he was just like, oh shit, this is good timing. Saved my ass. Like, wait, you're also a domestic abuser. Well, shit, I don't have to answer this at all now.
Jesus Christ, Hunter Hulk Hogan over here.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H, Hunter Hulk. Oh, is that a show name? Hunter Hulk Hogan? Might be. Triple H, Hunter Hulk Hogan. I mean, yeah, they're already saying it, though. All right, what else do we have? I believe nothing. Unless y'all want us to talk about something else. Anything else, chat room? Great chat room tonight.
Nora been asked what's going on with Bridge. He hasn't been referenced as a London show. I think a lot. Like, the match wasn't good. The public perception wasn't good. She lost, so they're probably trying to figure out what to do with her character. Maybe I've heard rumors that she was, like, not happy with losing. There was the whole thing about the MJF situation, whether that was real or not. Who knows? There's also rumors going on that, like, her and Adam Cole are through. So there's just a lot of shit, like rumors and speculation and innuendo going on right now involving her. So, like, maybe that they're having to deal with all that shit. I don't know. But it was a bad match.
It was. And we talked about it last week, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with her. Let's hope she's somewhere knocking off the ring rust, because let's face it, Britt Baker of last year is gone. This is not the Britt Baker of last year. And it sucks because, I mean, this was a girl who injured was one of the best parts of AEW Dynamite just a couple of years ago. Injured.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her and Rebel were doing great out there at that time. And I was not a Britt Baker fan in the beginning at all. Her promos were awful at the beginning. Her cadence was horrible. She would take little breaks where she shouldn't have. And then next thing you know, something caught fire with her. And she was great. But her promos are still good. Her in-ring is not. I mean, listen, I know she had some health issues. I get it. I'm not knocking her for anything. But She might just need a little extra training, a little extra, like I said, knock off the ring rust before she gets back in there. And, this is not the first match that we've said that about Britt Baker.
Right.
This is not the first time we've said that. Now, Smark, you sent me 2 links here.
It's both the same. It's just one of them is a little bit more precise.
Which one? The Facebook?
Both of them link to the video, is what Cheese was saying. It was quite a while ago at this point, the Dan Soder, the Macho Man impression. It's just the same link. It's just one of them is like a super long, like hyperlink type situation.
I'm going to use the YouTube one because we have less problems playing a YouTube video on here and then talking about it. So give me a second here. I'm going to pull that up right now. Oh, all right. I paused it. Let me share that screen. Yeah, we always have less problems using that than we do anything else. So here we go. All right, you can see that. Why does it look so small? I can't make it any
like
bigger.
Ants.
Can't make it any bigger, can I? I can go full screen.
I say that in the mirror every day, friend.
I just can't do it. Oh, we got Pedo Macho Man. Oh my God. Only fucking cheese, man. Okay, here we go, folks.
But yeah, because you didn't like it raw. You wanted it a little well done. Yeah, there you have it.
That's really rocking the hip hop world. That's bad news.
So now we're up to 4 potential victims.
I watched the guy interviewed, the guy who said it happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was. What was his name? Was something Savage? Ronald
Savage.
Randy Savage. And he's very believable when you watch him. I mean,
you better watch out. I'm gonna molest you. Africa Bambaataa. Yeah, like Zulu Nation touching my wiener when I'm a little boy. Yeah. Into it. Started thrusting into his hand. Yeah. Came all over the place. Yeah. Zulu Nation, you were there, you were watching. By the way, it's meat cooked. It's delicious.
It went a little Jesse Ventura there. It got a little Jesse. See, Pete Davidson tried to do it, and Dan Soder. I'm not the biggest Pete Davidson fan. I think he's kind of just an annoying little weird guy. But Dan Soder just completely outdid him. But here we go. Let's keep going. It's only it's less than a minute.
By the way,
Savage.
Him, Macho Man Randy Savage, eating a steak, describing a rape is maybe the funniest thing.
Yeah, it's man on boy. Yeah. Very disturbing. Oh, I love my steak cooked medium rare. I have nothing I like more than having a nice piece of cooked meat. Talking about man boy love. Yeah, it's the most purest of love. I'm talking about a very Spartan sexual relationship. Yeah, an older man caring for a younger boy. Very big in Greek mythology. Yeah. They would fuck him so they'd be comfortable going to war. The sacred battalion. Yeah, they would form a phalanx. Yeah, like the little boys in the front and the men in the back. Yeah, fight a little harder.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you have it.
That is a pretty good fucking impression, first of all. Second of all, I didn't know Opie. Is Opie back on? Like,
I have no idea.
I follow Opie on Facebook, and he goes live in the mornings. As a matter of fact, a few weeks ago, I felt like a star because Opie liked a comment of mine on his video. Yeah. I felt really good about that. I did. I felt good about that. But that was hilarious, and yeah, fucking Pete Davidson, he did a decent one.
Ooh, okay, let me. Okay.
But Soder definitely has the better impression.
Yes, he is a really good Macho Man.
That was good. That was funny. I like that. But all right, I think it's time we do the wrap up thing. What you think?
Yeah, it's about right. It's been about 3 hours now. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's been long. But anyway, let's go ahead and roll on out of here, folks. Smark.
Yes.
Tell them. You know what people need to hear about Smark? They've been dying to hear about. tits.
They need to hear about tits. Absolutely, yes.
That's
Today
right.
was, of course, the first day of the NFL season. Fucking Ravens lost to the Chiefs. That it be that way sometimes. Sad times. Chiefs are terrible. Fuck Taylor Swift. Anyways, tits Mondays 8:30 p.m. Not going to be on there this week, but I will be on there for all of the rest of the season of tits every Monday 8:30 p.m. That's where you want to find us. We're talking NFL. We're talking some college football. We did a draft. Picked our teams this year who we think is going to have the best season. Did a college football uniform draft or helmet draft, which kind of also led into uniforms. So if you're a big fashionista, go ahead and check that out. It's good times. You gotta love it. You gotta love some tits.
There you go. Everyone loves tits. Everyone loves tits. And folks, I will be back this week with Hollywood Hangout. Forgot last week. I completely forgot because I'm a dumbass that I was not going to be here for the show. I had my daughter's birthday party. We did something on Saturday. Then we went to my parents on Sunday. So I wasn't even here the whole weekend. But I will be back doing Last of the Dogmen once again, since I didn't do it last week. But it is a great movie. Tom Berenger, Barbara Hershey. It is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Listen to me Saturday night, Hollywood Hangout on Mixler, Mixler.com. No, Hollywood Hangout.mixler.com. That's what it is. God damn it, my brain won't fucking work. But anyway, folks, definitely next week, by the way. Next week, Smark will not be here on next Thursday. And I think I'm probably going to go ahead and actually jump and take a week off also. I have something to do the next day. Like I have to be up at I got to be up at 4:30 to get to where I need to be on time. I have to drive 2.5 hours to where I got to go. So next week, we're going to take off. We will be back the Thursday after that and knock this bitch out. But I will be doing a Hollywood Hangout both weeks. So right. I will be seeing you. And that's
back
it.
the 19th, because next week is my birthday. I have nothing else planned. I'm just lazy. It's my birthday, and I will choose to be lazy on my birthday. So that's what happens. That's why I'm not on tits either. It's birthday week. Anyways, that is it. Yeah.
You, sir, enjoy your birthday, and I will be talking to you during the week. And everybody, like I said, great chat room tonight. I appreciate everybody coming on in. Thanks, guys. And we will see y'all next motherfucking time. All right.
So I just tased him. I tased the shit out of him. You're like, Jack, I can't feel my legs. I said, you ain't gonna need them. Bombs away.